All right. So now I need to drop the YouTube link for the live stream. Hopefully we get people in here soon. Wait, this is not the live stream that I need to pull up. Good morning, guys. Welcome back. Okay, this is what's currently live right now. Share. Copy.
Yo, can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
All right. Well, this is frustrating. I can't get it to work on my computer for some reason.
All right, let's see if they can hear you first. Guys, can you hear the people in Discord?
I'll do an audio check.
Do an audio check.
1, 2, 3.
Hello, hello, hello.
Okay, they do hear them. Okay, good. All right, that's awesome.
Great.
Thumbs up, guys. Thank you so much for making it over here. I understand that it's been rough dealing with TikTok lately. Hopefully this all works out. There's just so much bullshit that we have to deal with violations on TikTok. And it's only a matter of time before they truly mess with us in a debilitating way. I just want to do quick shout outs for Cash App. Thank you, Scott. I believe that was you, Scotty, by the way. Thank you, Tracy. She said, screw TikTok. Love you. Thank you. And thank you, Harley. Also sent us $5 on Cash App. Thank you guys so much. All right, let's
You mean just now?
Yeah. Is that not you, Scott?
Maybe it wasn't me. I don't want to take credit for it. It was somebody else.
Maybe it's a different Scott. Okay. Close your chat, hit the thumbs up. Oh yeah. Let's everybody hit the thumbs up button. This is a little bit different from TikTok. So you're gonna have to hit the thumbs up button on the live in order to get YouTube to funnel us through the algorithm. If you want to support the live, there are things like super chats and stuff like that. And I have the Cash App at the bottom if you want to support the live. All right, let's get back into the thick of it of the Nepo baby here. Let's restart this video.
Normally it's a misdemeanor charge. We're dumbing it down to a violation, okay? I know you're upset. We just do it as a deterrence because...
Thank you so much for the super chat.
Besides being illegal, which is far from the subject, it's dangerous.
My mom's a lawyer, by the way.
That's okay. What's your name?
What's your name, sir?
I'm Brian.
Brian, is that your badge number 2814?
Yes.
So are you playing the video?
This is trespass right here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Can you guys not hear it?
Well, I'm doing it through Discord.
You need to share your screen.
So I think everyone can see. What you guys might have to do in the Discord is you might have to pull up the stream on like a different device and watch it that way.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was doing.
Yeah,
I'll do this
because
to make it easier for everybody.
If I share screen, there you go. That might help, Lamb Chop. Thank you. All right, cool.
It was open over there. I was just walking on a run here.
Where are you coming from? All the way over there?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I saw it just looked open for me, so I just walked in.
So this is considered trespassing.
Thank you, Demon. Thank you, Demon King.
Reason why it's such a big deal, people get hit by a train all the time. We want to prevent it, obviously.
Okay? Can you please...
you want me to hold it for you?
Yeah, my mom, the phone's at 2%, FYI.
So this is considered trespassing. It's a big deal. We don't want people to get hit by a train, which is why we came running over, okay? Do you have any ID on you?
Yes.
Okay, where is it?
It's in my phone. If you take off the case.
Tell them your mother is a federal prosecutor.
Yes.
Hey, Mom, how are you? This
Thank
is
you,
Officer
Demon.
Gomez. Your son's fine. How are you?
This is
Yes.
federal prosecutor.
Okay,
That's
fair
my
enough.
son.
Yeah.
He's a Harvard graduate.
Yeah.
He's not a criminal. He has no criminal record, no criminal history.
Mm-hmm. Yes. No, I understand that. The issue is, like I told your son, is this is considered criminal trespassing. So besides being illegal, it's actually very dangerous for him to be around the railroad tracks. You know, we get people that get hit all the time. So.
Let's get my mom on the phone.
Of course, yeah.
Thank you, James, and thank you, Demon. Thank you guys so much.
You said that. Can I grab my phone?
Absolutely, go ahead.
And if the phone dies, can we call her?
Absolutely.
So yeah, just tell her.
Miss Austin, it's Officer Gomez.
Hi, Officer Gomez. I'm about 4 minutes away.
Okay, that's fine. So I just wanted to give you the heads up. So I am going to be writing your son what's called an appearance ticket. I'm sure you know what that is. I'll explain everything where he has to report all that stuff because it is criminal
looks like
trespass
that's
where he
new.
was. It's normally in a,
Charlie,
hold on for 1 second, miss. It's normally a misdemeanor. Obviously, we're cutting it down to the violation because listen, he's there's nothing on his record. He's been very cooperative with us. But as of right now, we will have to issue him the appearance ticket.
Officer, is that really necessary?
Yes, it is necessary. Like, here's the thing. Just because you're a celebrity and just because you're a federal prosecutor doesn't mean that your child has immunity from the law because you are a representative of the law. Okay? This is just as dumb as being like, cops can do whatever they want because they're cops. That's false. If you break the law, then you have to be held accountable. And nobody's sitting here going, why is it that your Harvard educated son could not read a no trespassing sign or have the common sense to be like, hey, I shouldn't be running around on the railroad tracks? Unless you got your Nepo baby into Harvard via your connections. Because that's the next question I'm about to ask. Is it that your nepotism child got into Harvard University because you pulled some strings because you're friends with the Obamas? I'm just curious if that's how your child got into Harvard. Because if you can't read a no trespassing sign, I don't know what's so difficult about that. It even is going to warn you about being criminal trespassing. She tries to bribe that cop with her credentials. Yes. And even the smirk on her child's face when he's like asking for the badge number, it's kind of like he knows that this person's going to get dragged through the mud because of him being a Nepo baby. Oh, this is going to be all over the place. This is going to be on mainstream media, which it was, by the way.
This is a kid that doesn't do anything. He's a Harvard graduate and a Yale researcher. He teaches geometry to
I understand that.
Why would you put something on his record like this?
No, it's not anything criminal. He just has to appear. I'm dumbing it down to a violation. That's all it is. So it's not a misdemeanor. It's just going back down. I'm writing him literally for the 140.05. It's a trespass violation. He would have to appear, which is an inconvenience. I understand that, but with all due respect, ma'am, I still have a job to do, and we have to deter people from being on the tracks. Because again, besides,
I understand, but what I'm asking of you,
I'm actually kind of shocked that she, is even engaging with the cop, knowing that this is all on body cam. She should know that as a federal
Thank
prosecutor.
you, James. 100%. Well, also, this goes against the argument of like people of color that encounter the police are automatically like hurt, abused, disarmed, all of that stuff. Like, this person was calm, kudos to her son. He didn't like do anything crazy. He put his hands behind his back and nothing happened. So this is a prime example of all you have to do is just comply with police officers. And it's as simple as that. Like, nothing bad's going to happen to you as long as you're calm, cool, collected, and just abide by what they tell you to do. Thank you, Christy, as well. Thank you, James. I don't know what the gems mean. Maybe people like know what that is. I don't know what the gems are, but thank you so much. I'm assuming it means something good. So thank you guys so much. And thank you guys for joining me here on YouTube. Moving over to TikTok, it's not easy to get people to leave a platform they're comfortable with and come over to YouTube. DeMillie gets shut down on TikTok. I didn't get shut down on TikTok. I just kept getting violations and violations. TikTok was saying that I'm telling people to get off platform. Well, I was. So it's for gifts like TikTok. Oh, okay. That's cool, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, Hard Work, for the 350 gems, the finger heart. Let's go. And thank you so much, Rocky, for the floating heart, the 10 gems. Thank you so much. Appreciate all the support, guys. Let's finish out this video because, I can only stand the nepotism for so much, especially when it's coming from a woman who constantly talks about like people of color being oppressed. And she's bragging about being a federal prosecutor while not understanding what the cop is telling her about it not being on his record because he just has to appear.
Once a judge gets this,
thank
all
you,
he
me.
would have to do is pay a fine.
Oh, Melanie, thank you.
There is a path.
Thank you, Rocky.
What do you mean?
What happens if you're like, oh, I would like to write this?
Well, you know, we have cameras everywhere. You know, if we didn't see you, somebody would have called it over.
Correct.
You know, and
There was too many trains coming in and out of there to not.
I hate to
not
say,
see
it,
you.
it's like my partner said, our hands are tied. It is what it is.
Thank
Listen,
you, Laugh.
I really appreciate you being cool about this.
Thank you,
know,
Rocky.
Put you in handcuffs, and we do that for our safety
That's
and all that
safety
stuff.
reason on the
Hi, Miss. How are you?
That's-
I'm Officer Gomez. Ooh. No problem. I apologize for this.
The funny part is her showing up to save her son. Like, mommy has to come to the scene to talk to the officers so that you can, you know, avoid getting a violation. It's not even that big of a deal. This would like be if your mom showed up for a traffic ticket that you got. Thank you guys. Thank you, Extorted, for the makeup brush. Thank you, Rocky, for the makeup brush. And thank you, Sam, for the flower. Does it actually show the flower in the chat? I'm not sure how that works. Is it doing like gift animations the way that TikTok does now? Thank you, Scott. Thank you so much for the eagle, man. Appreciate you. I have no idea. I'm still very new to YouTube, guys. So you'll have to like walk me around the way. Yes. Oh, cool. That's awesome.
But you know, it's so like I explained to you. Normally, it's a misdemeanor charge. We're dumbing it down to a violation. Okay, I know you're upset. We just do it as a deterrence because, again, like I explained to you on the phone, besides being illegal, which is far from the subject, it's dangerous. I mean,
Mommy. Thank you, Rocky.
that's pretty much it.
Can you give him a warning?
I cannot at this point. I have to recommend this. And like I said, it's usually a misdemeanor. We're dumbing it down to a violation. So he's
Yeah, like he's already doing you a solid by saying this isn't going to be a misdemeanor. Thank you, Christy. Thank you for the marshmallow. This is already getting reduced down from like an actual charge to just show up in court and take acknowledgement that you were doing something you weren't supposed to be doing. Like this cop is being so nice about it too, and she's over here with her pissy face. Like, can you just let my Nepo baby off the hook? He's privileged. He's just a privileged child. He's not used to this.
literally getting hit by with the 140.
I'm still so shocked that she's engaging because she's the celebrity. She's just making it worse.
Well, yeah, to be honest, this is kind of embarrassing for her son, if I'm being honest. I would be pretty embarrassed if my Karen mother showed up to the scene of like me getting in trouble and like tried to Karen it out with the cops to get me a lesser violation. Thank you, Sam, for the marshmallow. 2 marshmallows. Thank you so much, Sam. And thank you, Joel, for the flower as well. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it because I'm not able to see what you guys see. So at one point I want to kind of call it. He wanted to call her. So it wasn't that he wanted to call her. Apparently, she was already on the phone with him when it happened. So he was chatting with her on the phone and was just walking aimlessly. And he went over to the railroad track and was trying to walk over by the railroad track. So he was already on the phone with her. Thank you, Rocky, for the floating heart. And thank you, Mary, for the sunshine. Love it, guys. Thank you so much. So that's essentially what happened. So she goes on to continue to Karen it out for a little bit with her pissy face as if that changes anything.
It's not going to go in his record. It's not going to affect him. Nothing. It's not going to. He asked a bunch of questions like if it's going to hit his license. Absolutely not. Yeah. No, it's not. It's not going to affect him anymore. Yeah. No, I understand. I really do.
What does the Harvard grad mean? Anything?
How are you?
How are you? This is my son.
How you doing?
How many times is she gonna say he's a Harvard grad with no criminal record?
Gate was open. I was like,
yeah. Sounds like an honest
He's on the phone with me. Actually.
Someone said, I can't believe they cuffed him and didn't just get a ticket. He did just get a ticket. Like they cuffed him and took him off the tracks and then they uncuffed him and gave him a ticket. That's essentially what happened. And Sunny Hostin's over here like making this big deal about her son getting detained. It wasn't that big of a deal. And maybe could have possibly saved his life, by the way, with him like running around on the railroad tracks or near the railroad tracks. People accidentally end up in accidents because they don't understand a train is coming and how fast it's coming. Thank you so much, Blanca, for the Eagle. Appreciate you. Thank you guys so much for your support today. And thanks for coming over from TikTok. I think this is a much better platform, if I'm being honest. I have a lot more fun over here. Okay, so we covered the Nepo baby. We covered the Tates. Let me get back to my lineup here. We're over here in Discord. Second. All right. Let's get back down here. And then we're going to circle back around to the DSA after we hit a little bit of the topics going on in Iran. As you guys have heard, we did end up losing a soldier or two, I think confirmed 3 unalivings from a boom booming. We did end up losing. Why did that happen? I did not do that. Sorry, guys. I'm just going to have to copy paste this. There we go. So I believe it is confirmed 3 have been unalived from the booming that happened in Jordan. It is official. Iraq has just signed 48 deals with the U.S. companies, including USA oil giants, by bypass the Strait of Hormuz via a new pipeline. Total deals are worth over $60 billion per Reuters. Huge. Chevron, ExxonMobil, Shell, and more are also involved. Iran hates this. I don't know why it took them so long to get on board with this idea in the first place. I think the pipeline was the obvious play here, is to move the oil transportation away from the strait and just either offset it over to the Red Sea or just simply put it more towards open ocean so we don't even have to deal with the Iranians. How do you guys feel about that, people in Discord? Are you guys still with us? Did I somehow leave?
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
here. There's a little bit of an echo.
Okay, sorry.
I'm getting like a 6-second delay.
I'm sorry about that. It's the best
No,
I
it's all
can
right.
do.
Yeah.
It's better than having you guys on StreamYard because they'll probably drop you like 100 times. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, but the echo will be there for a little bit. It's if she's playing a video, then click on the stream to watch it. But if she's not playing a video and we're just having a conversation, like exit out of it. You can always click back in.
Got you. Yeah, it might take some time to perfect all of that, but you guys will get it over time. So anyways, I think this is the obvious play for America and the rest of our oil partners over in the Middle East, is to have the pipeline and be able to offset all of this conflict going on in Iran. That way we don't have tankers that are being boomed, mined in the strait. We don't have to deal with that type of shit because we're far away from Iran at that point. China also did this as well. They created their own pipelines. Let me see if I can get the one that's being established with the UAE as well. So go ahead, guys. Wow, thank you, Unbothered, the mystery gift. That's pretty cool, man. Thank you so much. Okay, while our friends in Discord are trying to figure out the technical difficulties, this is the first time we tried to stream it this way, so bear with us.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you, Millie. I don't have anything to add. You said exactly what I would say.
100%. So this is also going on with the UAE oil pipeline bypassing the Strait of Hormuz is over 50% complete. ADNOC CEO plans to begin operations as early as 2027. It will have a capacity of 1.8 million barrels per day. That's not a lot, though. I hate to say it. 1.8 million barrels is not a lot. Thank you, Rocky.
Are you sure that's the right number? Because I thought that we were talking about this actually a week or two ago. And when we looked it up, I thought it was something like 6 or 7 million something barrels.
So Saudi Arabia has its own pipeline. Okay. And Saudi Arabia's pipeline, I believe, is about 50 million barrels of oil that they're able to do. Now, the UAE pipeline, I feel like I would have to do a little bit more research into, but I think that whoever posted this may have gotten this amount of capacity wrong, because that's so tiny for oil capacity. But again, it's better than nothing. So
I would just say my frustration with this is like, is this going to inspire other countries, other terrorist groups, like we're seeing with the Houthis now threatening, these routes? Is it going to inspire other people to do the same thing, other people to behave this nefariously? And my concern here is that the rest of the world isn't throwing a huge tizzy about it, sending navies and getting involved in the conflict, because this threatens the very structure of the IMA. And what I'm concerned about is that, well, are we just going to keep building pipelines every time this happens? And what eventually happens there? Can they actually tariff oil that's going through the pipeline once that's established? What are the laws that surround it? Those would be my concerns here.
So I just looked up the oil capacity for Saudi Arabia's pipeline is 7 million barrels a day. I mean, it still seems like not as much as I would expect. But no, I do agree with you, Mideast, in a way that I think that Iran will just restructure its movements with its terrorist organizations to just create more havoc in the Gulf of Oman, or create more havoc over in the Red Sea where we move these pipelines to, and they'll just funnel operations over there. This is why I think that leaving the IRGC in place is going to be such a problem in the future, no matter where you move the pipelines to. Thank you, Mary, so much for the fortune cookie. Appreciate you, Mary. Thank you so much. And that's why we need to finish the job. And this is my message to Donald Trump. I understand that everything's complicated. I get that. We just had 3 U.S. troops die overseas. Finish the job, okay? Bridge Power Plant Day, I saw that happen this week, that we are now striking them very hard at power plants and oil facilities, Carg Island, all of that. Good. Finish them. Finish them. I never want to have to look back at Iran again. And I think the IRGC needs to be completely crippled. Lazarus said, total of all pipelines, a single large pipeline flows 1.5 million to 2.5 million. But I think the oil capacity for the Middle East is much larger than that. OPEC as a whole on their production. I would have to go back and look at what their output is. Let me go see. Okay, so OPEC crude oil production is averaging about 25 million barrels per day. So if you're only able to move like, a few barrels of oil, a few million barrels of oil a day, that's not really completely keeping up with their production. But maybe I could be wrong. Maybe there's a factor that I'm not seeing here. But as far as what I see, the production is way larger than even 5 million, what the other pipeline is able to move in a period of time. So Mortal Kombat them 100%. Go ahead.
Yeah,
sorry.
finish them. I would just say, like, it's not just about Iran regaining power and doing it again. My broader point was that it sets a bad precedent in the globe for the whole world, because could Al-Shabaab try and do something similar? Could a Wagner group, that's not directly Russia, but obviously it's tied to them, could any other group around the world start threatening and try to tariff or cut off water rights and maritime rights that are afforded to every single country, and disrupt global trade? And this is where we have to be very harsh and make sure that we get the Strait of Hormuz open. And my point being, Japan, Korea, Asian countries, Europe, everybody should be sending vessels down here, regardless of who started the conflict. They've already demonstrated with the Red Sea crisis through the Houthis the first time, and then again here with this occasion, that they're willing to do it. And we have to set a precedent for everybody else around the world that this is unacceptable. If you look at the statements from Indonesia and other countries and regarding the IMA, they're pretty harsh about that, and they believe that every country has the right to travel free of tolls through international waterways. So that would be my point that I was making earlier.
Well, we have a lot of cowards right now is an issue that we're dealing with. Is we have a lot of our quote unquote allies that rely on the same oil production for their needs, do not want to actually participate in deterring the IRGC from disrupting the strait, which they could do, by the way. I mean, we could send a lot of ships from Europe alone could help handle this. France could help handle this with at least some of their navy, but they choose not to. They choose not to get involved in this while they suffer the actual consequences of ignoring this whole conflict. So, and this is the problem with people who are anti-intervention. So while you're sitting here, the cost of oil is going up, but none of our quote unquote allies want to jump in to solve the issue. They're kind of just sitting back and doing nothing, which again makes me want to distance ourselves further from NATO, because if this is how you perform, if this is what the purpose of NATO is, well, not typically the purpose of NATO is really to just combat people like Russia, but Russia is involved with Iran. Russia is also involved with China. Like, this is a group effort between those two. So like part of NATO should actually somewhat care about this ongoing issue because Russia has their hands in it. So if the goal of NATO is to deter Russia, then I don't understand why our NATO allies are kind of like turning a blind eye to this. Thank you, Laura, so much. She sent us $10 on Cash App. She says, love your content. Thank you, Laura, so much. And thank you all for the support from moving over from TikTok to YouTube. I'm having a lot of fun with this, to be honest. But it is very disheartening to see 3 U.S. service members being confirmed dead in Jordan following the Iran strikes. It is disheartening to see that happen. And I think that Americans will end up getting fatigued if we end up having more troops die the longer that this conflict goes on, right? And I'm going to compare this to how we felt about C-19, okay? At first, when it was like, 2 weeks to stop the spread, most people were fine with that. But then when 2 weeks turned into 6 months, when 2 weeks turned into a year, okay, that's when Americans start getting fatigued with these types of issues. And I'm feeling that as well, right? Originally, this was supposed to be a 6 to 12 week conflict. Now it's no longer a 6 to 12 week conflict. So I'm really hoping that Donald Trump just goes in there, hits them really hard, and finishes the job. And I hope everybody agrees with that. So let's play this footage.
As we've been telling you, the United States is increasing the pressure on Iran. Last night's 8th round of strikes retaliated for a deadly barrage on U.S. forces in Jordan. Senior correspondent Mike Tobin is in Tel Aviv. He has the latest for us. Mike.
And John, unfortunately, I've got to give you an update on the loss of life of U.S. service members. We reported earlier that 2 U.S. service members had been killed and a third was missing. The remains of that third missing U.S. service member have been recovered. So you're talking about 3 people killed by that strike. And another unfortunate incident, service members were disposing of the explosives in an Iranian attack drone with a controlled explosion. Something went wrong and another U.S. service member was killed. All of this according to Central Command. Now, last night, the U.S. responded to the U.S. loss of life with an intensified round of strikes into Iran. This marks the first time the U.S. has had any loss of life since that memorandum of understanding was signed, the memorandum of understanding, which is now largely disregarded. The casualties were at the Muwafaq Salti Air Base in Jordan, and they are a result of Iran's repeated shots at U.S. bases in neighboring countries. At least one strike got through the defenses. Now, the Institute.
Okay, so I know that they said we're on the 8th. We're actually on the 9th. So let me just pull up CENTCOM because I'm pretty sure we're probably going to go into the 10th likely tonight. Hold on one second. Okay. U.S. Central Command successfully completes its 9th consecutive evening of strikes against Iran, July 19th at 10 p.m. That was last night. CENTCOM assesses targeted Iranian military command centers, air defense, coastal surveillance sites, maritime capabilities, missile and drone launch sites, and communication networks to further diminish Iran's ability to attack commercial vessels and civilian mariners transiting the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. military is holding Iran accountable at the commander-in-chief's direction. CENTCOM forces remain highly vigilant, focused, lethal, and ready. And I want to continue to hit them hard as possible. And I want the IRGC to be crippled financially and physically, which I believe that's what our Treasury Department is focusing on as well. So it's a multifaceted attack on Iran. And I hope it brings it to their knees. I mean, you have things like CRAM, like the technology that the US is showing right now is insane. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen CRAM work in real time, but this bad boy is disgusting. So the interesting thing about CRAM is anything that is incoming towards the target that it is defending, it will lock on to like a missile and just immediately start pew-pewing it out of the sky. It's almost like what is it? What do they call it in Star Wars? R2-D2 on crack. It just locks onto a target, just shoots it right out of the sky. Crazy work. It's meant to protect any installation or military facility that it may be protecting at the time. And I'm sad that I don't know if the facility in Jordan that was hit or the place of which our military personnel was hit maybe just wasn't having its defenses like locked on enough for the situation to not be able to shoot down those incoming projectiles, but it's really sad. Pew pew, we can speak like adults now. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It's gonna listen, you guys, it's gonna take me some time to work myself out of that situation, by the way. It's gonna take some time. All right. So leave me alone. Don't bully me. All right, so I thought this story was also interesting too. This woman goes on to show us that the people that are in New Jersey that are incarcerated that appear to be people of color are being labeled as white.
They are hiding the race of so many people, mainly men, who have been arrested.
Thank you,
Race,
Softball.
white,
Appreciate
white,
you.
White. And you can go to this website. It's for all the New Jersey mugshots and put in the race white. And you're going to see several non-white men. Imagine if they did this.
Do you think that this is like their way of trying to skew the statistics on incarcerated
Absolutely.
people?
Absolutely.
Because if this is what's being
100%.
tracked and the FBI is looking at these numbers and going, oh, this is a bunch of white people committing like these amount of crimes, right? That's going to skew the statistics at a federal level. So they're going to say, well, white people are committing all of these homicides and white people are committing all of these rapes. But then you have these people that are in New Jersey that do not appear to be white to me. I don't know if I'm colorblind or not, but they don't appear to be of white descent. They're being labeled as being white. That's kind of crazy to me.
In reverse, imagine if white
Thank
men
you,
were getting
Rocky.
arrested
Appreciate
and
you.
being put down as black as their race. The left would flip out. And this is quietly happening across the nation. So all those statistics about black and brown men committing a disproportionately high amount of violent crime, it's actually worse. We have to start facing reality because this is a problem.
Okay.
So it's not just the changing of your race on these incarcerated individuals. The other thing that I want to point out about this, thank you, James, so much for the flower.
Hey, Millie.
Yep. What's up?
The FBI press conference is beginning right now.
Okay, send the link over to me where you can watch it right now.
Yeah.
I'll finish this up quickly. So it's not just the race switching that is a problem. It is the downgrading from felonies to misdemeanors to make it seem like nonviolent crimes are not actually violent crimes. So you could get arrested for assault and they might downgrade it to disorderly conduct to make their criminal numbers not look as bad as they actually are. That's something that I want to warn people about because we're seeing that quite a lot recently. All right, let's go over.
It's in your DMs.
Let's grab that. 1 second. Perfect.
It ignited it with a lighter and an incendiary device. That device was a firework, a large firework in a canister.
Personally, I love the
that
sound
proceeded
effect.
to catch on fire. Pretty big flame, as you've seen on the internet.
Guys, this is in reference to the explosion that happened at an FBI facility today.
He then pulled out an airsoft rifle and fired 5 to 7 pellets, if you will, in the direction of 26 Federal Plaza. At that time, Federal Protective Services, 2 officers, a gray suit, a contractor with Allied that is employed
Thank you,
to guard
Vicky,
this
for the
building.
flower.
And those 3 people and the 2 officers standing behind me in the blue shirts are the officers that intervened
That's
and
hilarious,
took
Grease
Mr.
Monkey.
Arbach into custody. Well, he had him on the ground. An FBI agent jumped in and they put handcuffs on him and took him in the building. He is currently in custody and he has been interviewed. Arbach is a former United States Army soldier. He was enlisted for approximately 4 years, serving from 2001 to 2005. He was a repairman or mechanic on Patriot missile systems. He is 43 years old. There were injuries in this. 3 people were injured, minor injuries.
Wow.
1 civilian.
Thank you for the stay
and
hydrated.
2 government employees.
Appreciate it, Belpete.
Right now, our evidence response team is out working with NYPD and our New York Joint Terrorism Task Force to collect evidence.
Thank you, serving.
To
Love my
conduct
Millie. You belong
interviews.
here. Thank
we
you for
have
supporting Millie
located
grow
a
this channel.
vehicle
Thank you.
of Mr. Arabaca's. We have seized that vehicle. We are
Thank you for the flower.
procuring or obtaining a search warrant. Mr. Arabaca came armed with bad intentions. I will say that 26 Federal Plaza has long been a target of extremists, of terrorists, and today the extremism was brought here. The building was attacked. Mr. Arabaca was looking to injure people and harm people. He had 2 axes, a hammer, a machete, and 3 knives, fixed blade knives. He had, as I said earlier, 6 incendiary devices or fireworks, and he had some other destructive items. Going forward today, like I said, we'll do more interviews, we'll collect more evidence, and we will, and I'll leave to Mr. McDonald to talk about charges. We take this very seriously. On his cart, he had a cart. He had anti-ICE literature on it. When he was being arrested, he yelled derogatory terms to ICE, used bad words, obviously.
Thank you, Sip.
He is an anti-American, anti-government extremist. We know that from what he said. We know that from what he has said post-arrest. And we know that from what his actions that he tried to take today. So I will turn it over to Police Commissioner Tisch.
Thank you, Jim. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Deborah, for the
I am here
sunshine.
to provide some additional details about this morning's incident outside of 26 Federal Plaza. This remains an active investigation, and the information that we have is still being gathered and is subject to change. At approximately 8:30 this morning, a call came in to New York City's 911 call center that there was an active shooter outside of 26 Federal Plaza in Lower Manhattan. 2 additional calls in the subsequent minutes reported an explosion and a male setting off fireworks at the location. Units from NYPD's 5th Precinct responded within 2 minutes of the first 911 call, and by the time they were on scene, the suspect had already been taken into custody by federal officers. The suspect has been identified, as you just heard, as Andrew Arabaca, 43 years old, of Poughkeepsie. He is believed to be a U.S. Army veteran. His last known address was up in Harlem. His vehicle, a black Toyota RAV4, was located parked in the vicinity of West 124th Street and Broadway, and that vehicle is subject to search pending a search warrant. The entire incident unfolded in view of an NYPD camera positioned on the southwest corner of Worth Street and Broadway. Video and witness statements describe the suspect's actions as follows. At approximately 8:30 a.m., Mr. Arabaka arrived at Worth Street and Lafayette Street in front of 26 Federal Plaza. Once he arrives, he ignites a bundle of what appears to be fireworks, which begin to smoke. He then goes back into his cart and takes out an airsoft rifle and
Thank you, Deborah,
proceeds
for the
to
finger
brandish
heart.
it. And he appears to fire several pellets from the airsoft rifle. Next, he pulls out an orange bucket from his cart and runs towards the bushes along the building line. He dumps the contents of the bucket, an incendiary liquid, between two sets of bushes along the perimeter of this property and ignites a fire. Federal agents and officers then run up to the subject, subdue him, and take him into federal custody. On the scene was recovered, among other things, 2 airsoft rifles and the container with the flammable liquid. Also affixed to the suspect's cart was a sign reading "Ice off our streets." During the incident, the suspect was wearing a military-style helmet. This incident occurred along federal property, and the NYPD is supporting the federal government in their investigations. Charges are yet to be filed. Our work with the Joint Terrorism Task Force and the Southern District of New
Thank you,
York
LT.
is critical to
Thank you.
keeping our city safe, and I commend the federal agents and contractors and officers who responded to the threat this morning. Now I'm going to turn it over to Deputy United States Attorney Jamie McDonald.
So one, before we get into this, it's crazy that this guy's an actual veteran, was in our military, and now is the subject of a terrorist attack in New York City. I don't know why anybody is surprised when you basically elect a Muslim to be mayor, that's going to come with increased terrorist attacks within New York City. And we've seen this. We've even seen more attacks on Jewish synagogues within New York City as being an actual issue as well. But nobody is talking about the left spewing all this anti-ICE rhetoric, and then next thing you know, they're influencing people to commit terrorist attacks on these institutions. We have ICE agents that have been shot. We have ICE agents getting ran over by vehicles or attempted to be ran over by vehicles. We have ICE agent facilities having people lured out from the facility with fireworks and then being fired upon by people hiding in bushes. I mean, this is insanity. This is almost a weekly or every other week occurrence with the left committing terrorist attacks on federal institutions. Yet the mainstream Democrats are completely silent about this. They are not even coming close to the rhetoric that they were spewing at J6. And we honestly, I don't know what Congress is doing. We need a select committee on these terrorist attacks constantly happening. This is just a repetitive issue, and nobody's talking about it. The left is not talking about it. No hearings on it whatsoever. J6, we had a complete select committee on that issue, yet nothing about the increased terrorist attacks coming from the left.
Thank you. I'm Jamie McDonald, the Deputy United States Attorney for the Southern District of New York.
Thank you, Raphael.
As you can see, we're
Thank
here in response to an incident this morning that took place just behind us here at the Jacob K. Javits Center, which houses dozens of federal agencies and thousands of federal employees. I want to thank
you,
the
Raphael.
work of our law enforcement partners whose rapid response led to the neutralization of the threat and the immediate turn to evidence collection and investigation. Our office, the Southern District of New York, led by the National Security Unit and the General Crimes Units, are working closely with the FBI, the NYPD, FPS, and others to investigate this matter. As you've heard, one individual has been taken into custody. Our investigation is continuing, and we will keep the press and the public updated on charges. Thank you.
All right, time for a few on-topic questions. Please be called on.
I can barely hear the questions.
We're collecting the evidence. And we know there were anti-government and anti-American statements made, and we know that an incendiary device and gasoline were used to start a fire. Charges are determined by the U.S. Attorney's Office. Right now, the FBI, the New York City Police Department, New York State Police Department, all are members of the task force, the Joint Terrorism Task Force, are out collecting evidence today. We will present that evidence to the United States Attorney's Office, and the United States Attorney will make that charging decision. I don't know what those will be.
Aaron.
His goal was to target the building. He said that and I'm not going to get into all the details of a post-arrest interview, but he was Mirandized, read his rights. He did agree to talk. In that post-arrest interview, he did say he was targeting the building and he was okay if he hurt or killed people going in and out of the building, whether they were federal employees or civilians. I would mention, a lot of business was canceled, not by the Federal Protective Services. Federal Protective Services, once they mitigated the situation, the building remained open, employees could come and go, and we continue to do work. But some agencies decided to close business for the day. There was a naturalization.
Does anybody see Mondani? Was Mondani at this press briefing? He's the mayor. Where is the mayor?
Ceremony scheduled for today that was canceled.
Thank you, Ladybug, for the flower.
One civilian victim was an immigrant that had a hearing today for their immigration status. So that's quite unfortunate and quite ironic at the same time.
This is the second time that this has happened, by the way, where leftists tried to attack an ICE facility and ended up either unaliving an immigrant or greatly harming an immigrant instead of the targets, which are the ICE agents themselves. That's the second time that this has happened. Thank you, Demon King, for the clutch. Thank you so much. And thank you, Tal, for the floating heart. Appreciate you. It's very hard to hear the questions being asked.
So he arrived in this area. Well, I should say yesterday he went from Harlem. He took the subway down to the Penn Station area. He walked down and stayed overnight in the vicinity of the Holland Tunnel on the street. Then he came down to this area around 5 a.m. He ventured over to our spot a little after 8 o'clock. That's the timeline for his movements. We're still collecting evidence. NYPD is out doing what the NYPD does great, and they're working with the JTTF on that. He has a couple of encounters with law enforcement that we're not ready to talk about. Nothing rising to this level. Look, I would say that protesting in the United States is protected by the First Amendment. We do not track protesters. We do not know who comes and goes as far as protests. So I don't know if he's been involved in any protests at all.
All right, thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right, that seems to be the end of the press conference. Wow. I would say that I'm shocked, but I'm not shocked. Is that sad? I'm not shocked at all by this, by the way. This is when he was actually getting apprehended this morning as well. So it appears like he poured gasoline in front of the building, ignited it with a firework, used an airsoft gun or a pellet gun to shoot at people around the scene, and ended up hurting an actual immigrant instead. So this is how the appearance of the scene looked. At first, it looked like napalm, but, you know, I think you're right, Lamb Chop. That's definitely, you know, they did gasoline. So I wanted to cover the DSA, and I believe that you were on top of this too, Lamb Chop, when you sent me this morning. Several DSA-aligned politicians attended a stream where speakers compared America to Nazism and discussed protecting Iran's ability to fund Hezbollah, Hamas, and the Houthis. To me, this seems like more ideological subversion. We have people on the inside of America that are supporting terrorist operations overseas. It's a bit concerning to me.
Government and the Israeli government, they're in the midst of creating the Fourth Reich. And it is absolutely accurate to compare these people to Mussolini, to Adolf Hitler. We're governed by dead-eyed psychopaths and sociopaths and bloodthirsty imperialists. The U.S. government and the Israeli government, they are the terrorists. They are the terrorists. They are doing terrorism. If Iran's off the table as a regional power, that means Hezbollah can't be funded, Hamas can't be funded, the Houthis can't be funded, like the Shia Crescent falls, and then you have nothing but regional domination for Israel. There's a reason why I call Israel and the U.S. the axis of Epstein, okay? There's a reason why I've said repeatedly that they're in the midst of creating the Fourth Reich, because that sincerely is what they're doing. These are genuinely repulsive.
How dumb do you have to be to insinuate that the people that are the survivors of the Holocaust are creating Nazi platforms and creating the Fourth Reich? How dumb do you have to be? This is like zero IQ political commentary. Go ahead.
Do you notice the use of the Epstein, like the Epstein coalition that Iran's been saying in all of their in all of their videos? Like, they're using our enemy's propaganda.
Jeffrey Epstein hated Israel. Like, that's inside the Epstein files. He wasn't a fan of Donald Trump. He wasn't a fan of Israel. That's very clear. What's dumb about this is being like, oh no, this is going to cut off funding for Hamas and the Houthis. Are these people going to acknowledge that Hamas kills their own people? Are we going to acknowledge that Iran kills its own people? I don't understand. Like, these people are sympathizing for terrorist organizations overseas. Go over there overseas. Go live over there. And then come back and tell me that things are good in the hood. It's not. And this is the big Israel derangement syndrome, okay? Trump's first term, the derangement syndrome was surrounding Russia. It was the Russia collusion, right? And it was Russia pulling the strings on Donald Trump. Well, now, on Donald Trump's second term, they've exhausted the Russia collusion narrative, the Russia conspiracy. They need a new bad guy to be behind the scenes pulling the puppet strings, okay? That's Israel for his second term, is what they're going to say. The other portion, if you guys had tuned in to my last video where James O'Keefe was blowing the whistle on the CIA operative that worked at the CIA and the NSA, and when I was reading the documents from the NSA leaving out information from the Presidential Daily Brief, I hope you all know by this point that it is the intelligence agencies that are running this country. It's not the President of the United States. It's the intel community running the country. When the intel community says, we're not going to give information to the head of the executive branch, which they fall under, that's when you know the president's not running the country. Okay? The people actually running the government is the NSA and the CIA and all of the shadow elitists behind the scenes. They're the ones running the country. They're the ones controlling everything. So it's not Donald Trump or his administration, unfortunately. And Donald Trump walked into an office where he probably wasn't prepared for how bad the deep state actually is.
Disgusting, wretched, depraved human beings. And it is absolutely accurate to compare these people to the worst criminals in history, to Mussolini, to Adolf Hitler.
Wow, nothing could be more dense than comparing Jews to Adolf Hitler. Because that clicks, guys. That clicks in your mind. You know what Jews love the most? Adolf Hitler. Like, are we actually serious? What a dead brain take from the DSA. It's so bad. And then we're promoting candidates like Abdul al-Said, who can't even disavow the Ayatollah. And this is what we're saying is the future of the Democrat Party. You have Bernie Sanders and AOC promoting this candidate. Then we have the candidate up in Maine, Graham Plattner, was accused of rape by multiple people who had dated him and abuse. This is who the Democrats are platforming. And then they have to slowly walk it back. It's insane to me. Well, this is right on track. Trump vows no arrest for Netanyahu in the U.S. New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani stated his office is discussing whether the NYPD could enforce an ICC arrest warrant against Netanyahu over alleged war crimes in Gaza, calling him the architect of the genocide there. Trump countered on Truth Social, praising Netanyahu's fight against Iran, insisting Iranian leaders deserve arrests instead. Legal experts note such a city-led arrest is highly unlikely due to the U.S. non-membership in the ICC, federal authority over foreign affairs, and protection for visiting heads of state as Netanyahu heads to the UN General Assembly in September. So Zohran Mamdani is saying he's going to arrest Netanyahu.
He's an idiot. I mean, no, the United States does not subscribe to the ICC. Hello.
Is this where he states this?
How are you? I'm good, thank you. I was reading your interview over the weekend and wanted to ask you more about your conversations with the your legal department about potentially arresting Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. I just want to know just what your feelings are when you look at, for example, your administration also reaching out to the Prime Minister of, the Ambassador of Iran. Just how you, I guess, reconcile the two of being so critical of the Israeli Prime Minister, but at the same time meeting with the Ambassador of Iran.
So I want to first clear up a few things. Our administration did not reach out to the Prime Minister of Iran. Our administration received a request from the Iranian consulate. And as soon as I heard of that, I made it clear that we are not meeting and we will not meet with the Israeli consulate here in New York City. And when it comes to Benjamin Netanyahu, we're speaking about someone who's the subject of an international criminal court arrest warrant. And he's the subject of this arrest warrant for alleged crimes against humanity, for war crimes, and he's the architect of the genocide against Palestinians in Gaza as Israel's prime minister. These are not facts of my personal assessment, they are facts of public record. And I believe that...
By the way, the ICC is not determined that there is a genocide in Gaza. They're adding that on there. And Bibi Netanyahu isn't even having an arrest warrant from the ICC for genocide. That's not what he is being arrested for or has a warrant for his arrest from the ICC. This is where they add shit into something that's not there, praying that people won't actually go research the topic.
When someone is charged with an international criminal court warrant, it's something that should be taken seriously, whether it's Benjamin Netanyahu or it's Vladimir Putin or whomever else. What I've also made clear is that my administration will follow all applicable local laws. That is our commitment. That is something that we will follow through on when it comes to an adherence to local law. And that's all I have to add on that.
Thank you. And now we're going to go to Heather from News 12.
Are you looking? These are people that are soft on people like Nicolas Maduro, who unalives his own people, black bags, and tortures his own people. These are the people who felt bad about Nicolas Maduro being in Rikers. These were the people that mourned the Ayatollah, who also hung many of his own citizens, including children. Perfect comment. The IRGC killed 40,000 reportedly. Okay, we don't have the accurate 100% numbers on it. Reportedly 40,000 of their own citizens, and that's okay. Yeah, you don't see any ICC warrants out for that. This is why the UN has no business trying to govern over other countries, because they're completely biased. These are the same people who put Iran on the Human Rights Committee. Are we serious? Human rights, guys. Iran. Come on now.
And women's rights.
And women's rights. Don't forget the women's rights, guys. So Representative Luna urges Rubio to revoke Chinese student visas over election interference claims. I said this on Friday when we were on YouTube, that if what is being released in the documentation that Donald Trump released is true, then he needs to immediately revoke all of the student visas for China. It's very clear from the documents that that was the case, and that they were trying to use student visas and trying to use students who would promote fake IDs to vote in elections. That's insane to me. So it should be revoked. Which detailed China's alleged theft of data of 220 million U.S. voter records starting in 2020, including names, addresses, and affiliations. She called for immediate suspension of F1 and J1 visas for Chinese nationals at the U.S. universities, a review of existing ones, and better vetting to counter infiltration. The proposal amid U.S.-China espionage tensions drew support for prioritizing security, but also criticism from potentially harming innocent students and U.S. campuses, where about 265,000 to 290,000 Chinese students contribute billions in tuition. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
He's not going to revoke it.
It's a mistake.
We don't know what we don't know. There's got to be some sort of negotiation, push and pull going on between him and Xi. We need cooperation with Iran. There are a lot of things at play. I'm not so sure that it's that easy a decision.
Here's why I don't want to be close to China in the first place, though, right? I think China is ultimately the Oz behind the curtain. I don't know if you agree with me or not, but I think that China is the one pulling a lot of the strings on what's going on in Iran to begin with. So if the Oz behind the curtain is China itself, why are we assisting anything with what China is doing? This is where long-term decisions have big consequences, like letting China into the WTO. When we let China into the WTO, we allowed them to utilize big tariffs because they claim to be a developing nation. They use that to their advantage to exert neo-mercantilism, which has allowed them to hoard raw materials, mass manufacturing, and mass exportation of products, which has now made us a superpower reliant on China and India. That's crazy. Okay. And we need to reverse course quick.
Yeah, in many aspects, I agree with you, but I don't think that China has anything to do with Iran's nuclear ambitions or anything like that. So, they may be friends in the meantime, all right, and a lot of their agenda overlaps. So they're allies now.
Thank you, Tammy. I don't think they're friends. I don't think they're friends at all. I think they're fake friends. I think they will lie to our face. Yeah, which I think that they are the true enemy. I think China, right? I like Chinese civilians because I don't think it's the fault of Chinese civilians. Okay. However, the Chinese government is nothing but just pure evil. Okay. I don't want to come out the citizens, the same that I don't want to come out the citizens of Venezuela, right? There were some who voted their way to socialism, and then the other half had to deal with the consequences of losing an election, which ended up in severe oppression. And I think that's what China, in the most part, is going through. But I agree with Rob's comment here. China is trying to collapse the U.S., and I firmly agree on that. So if China's objective is to collapse us, then we need less infiltration of Chinese nationals. We need less infiltration of them buying any property in the U.S. We need to eminent domain the shit out of their properties and get them out, right? They're not our friends. They're trade partners, right?
I'm not disagreeing with any of that. I'm just saying that it's a matter of timing is when you're going to implement that stuff, because you may need them in the meantime in order to defeat Iran and their nuclear ambitions.
I don't know if we need them to do that, though. Right? China's not in a position to compete with us militarily, right? The only way that they can really do us true harm is to collapse our economy. And they kind of already did that, to be honest, if you want to look back at 2020. That had huge ramifications on our economy. And they want to usurp us as a world superpower. So,
yeah, I agree.
I can understand what you're saying, right? And I don't completely disagree that we're kind of like playing nice with them for the issue of combating the situation in Iran. But I think they're the reason Iran is what they are today anyway.
Possibly, but look, we know that they're trying to help them. They're trying to get supplies to them, even though we got a blockade. They are trying to help Iran. So there may be, that negotiation going on right now. Trump may need Xi to behave a certain way in order to deal with Iran, and then we can focus on China. But because we know that, and I'm sorry, I'm talking with that echo. I hear myself, so it's very difficult to track.
You can mute the stream while you talk. So if you're trying to talk without the echo, then mute the stream while you're talking, and then you can unmute it when you're not talking. That'll help you out a lot. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's fine. I'm just reiterating what I was saying. I just think it's a matter of timing. I don't think that Trump is unaware of what we're saying. I don't think he's unaware. I think he's completely aware that China is the enemy and sort of like the puppet master behind all this stuff, for sure, that they're trying to collapse the United States, 100%. We're just repeating ourselves. We're going in circles right now. I think we understand each other.
No, I think we do. I guess my question is going to be, when is the right time to start cutting off China? And this is why I said I'm fully on board with tariffs, because tariffs is a protectionary measure for our economy. Okay. When we get flooded by trade from other countries, which we are completely flooded by Chinese trade, I don't think anyone disputes that right now. If China decides to rip the rug out from under us and India at the same time, which they're friends, they're in BRICS together. Okay. We are fucked, completely fucked.
Yep.
Right. And we put ourselves in this situation. And this is why I'm on board with tariffs. I'm on board with trade barriers, because if we would have maintained trade barriers, we wouldn't have had our market flooded in this way. But we allowed for that. And because we allowed for that, now we have majority of our medicine being made overseas. That's dangerous. It's really dangerous for us. So I hope at some point we put the wall between us and China. Build the Great Wall.
National security risk for me.
Yeah. But the other aspect that I want to address in regards to Chinese nationals is the demand that it puts on universities, right? So as long as there's an increased demand for our universities in the United States, that also has the incentive to increase the cost for our kids who want to go to universities, right? When they can maintain the amount of money being spent on these universities by Chinese nationals, well, then that plays a cost on our children going to school, even though we are the ones who funded these universities in the first place with our money. We back the loans, right? Thank you, 49. Thank you so much for the stay hydrated, man. Appreciate you. That's where I'm at right now. So I want to pull that back. I want to rein this in a little bit, right? Because it shouldn't cost $60K for our kids to go to college. Right?
No arguments there.
Yeah, we're putting our kids in massive amounts of debt. It's sad. It's actually sad. Like, I almost feel bad for them, except for it's the Democrat Party that promoted these ideas to stay away from blue collar work. And now we're in this predicament. DOJ files to revoke citizenship of 10 nationalized Americans hiding serious crimes. The U.S. Department of Justice filed civil complaints in federal courts over the past 30 days against individuals from Mexico, Cuba, Pakistan, Peru, and Poland. They concealed convictions for child sex abuse, Medicare fraud, substance trafficking, and more examples include a former priest serving 15 years for assaulting minors and a man who defrauded Medicare at the tune of $886,000. Officials say it marks the Trump administration's largest denaturalization effort ever, with more cases coming to restore integrity to the process. Success would strip citizenship and reverting them to permanent resident status, opening deportation pathways. Yeah. I don't know why it's like once you get nationalized, you just stay a U.S. citizen forever. No, I would love to strip you of naturalization. If I could strip U.S. citizens who are shitty criminals of their citizenship, I would do that too. Ban you. Thank you, Tammy, so much for the eagle. Appreciate you guys. You guys have been spoiling the shit out of me here on YouTube. I just want to say I'm very grateful, truly humbled, and just humbled that you guys are even willing to leave TikTok and come over to YouTube to watch me. So thank you guys so much. And if you're new here, make sure you hit the subscription button. It's not a money thing. Subscription is just like a follow on TikTok. You're just following me. That's what a subscriber on TikTok means. All right, so Homeland Security says when you commit fraud during nationalization process, you forfeit the right to keep your U.S. citizenship. These criminal aliens, including drug traffickers, pedophiles, fraudsters, lost their right by exploiting our immigration system, harming Americans alongside the Justice Department. We are committed to ensuring we denaturalize and remove these fraudsters with every tool at our disposal. W for that. Were people told about this on Discord? I believe they were. I told them on TikTok before I left too. I said, I'm going to go over to YouTube because we kept getting violations on TikTok for really stupid things. So I think TikTok is literally circling the drain right now. That's my opinion. All right. Let me see if I have a couple of other stories going on. Oof. I'm so sorry for your eardrums, guys. That scared the shit out of me too. Hold on. So I make sure I didn't miss anything before I get to the other story that I wanted to cover. We went over the FBI bombing. Well, I guess it really wasn't like a bombing. It was kind of like fireworks and gasoline. They tried to burn down the building unsuccessfully. We went on the Zohran Mamdani situation. I guess here's the footage of the guy doing it from this morning.
Guys, oh my God!
Thank you, Deborah. Thank you so much.
Oh my God!
Thank you for the floating heart.
Oh my God! Get away from there! Oh my God! Get away from there! No! Get away from there!
What she doesn't understand, though, and what people don't have enough respect for, is that the cop's job is to run into the face of danger to protect other humans and protect other citizens of our country. This is why cops, like, I'm not saying all cops are great. So there's some crooked cops out there, okay? But most of the time, a cop's job is going to be putting themselves in danger to protect other people within the community. So unfortunately, their job is to go run after that guy, even though it's possible that he could have more bombs on him. He could have a gun. They don't know, but they have to stop him in case he were planning to do anything else.
Oh my God! Get away! Oh my God!
Yeah, I don't mind a little bit of the stop resisting. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
Hey, this is Mamdani's New York City, guys. Are you surprised? Is anyone shocked, I guess, is the question that I have for you. Anyone surprised that this is what happens in Mamdani's New York City? No one's shocked at all. Let's see. A man has a meltdown after United Airlines worker threatens to call ICE on him at San Francisco International Airport. Maybe we should call ICE on you. Woof! Let's hear it, babes. Let's hear it. I'm here for this.
Tell you. And what's your name? Because you're rude as hell. What's your name? What's your name? What's your name? What's your name? No, because you're hella rude. No, you're hella rude. You're hella rude.
He won't fly.
You're hella rude.
He's not flying.
You're hella rude.
He's not
No,
flying.
why am I not flying? Because I'm telling you you're hella rude. What's your name?
Videotape you.
What's your name? Perfect. Videotape me. What's your name? I'm trying to find out your name.
You're not getting my name.
No, because you're arguing with the people
I'm not
from
arguing
Air
with
Canada.
you. I'm not arguing with them. I'm just saying we'll try. We had Air Canada come over here. I tried to change it myself and I could not.
Fine. There's nothing that we could do. You're here to help us. That's why we paid money. We're here to help us, and you refuse to help.
I don't help people that are arguing.
I'm not mine. I'm trying to talk to you. I'm trying to talk to you, and I'm going to report you.
I want to talk to you.
Okay. What's your name?
Agent.
I'm asking you, what's your name?
I'm not getting my name.
I'm
not
not
giving you my name. Maybe
Let me see what's right there. You're going to call ICE on me? Oh, say that again? Say that again.
Maybe you need to be, because you don't act like a
You're
citizen. Get away.
Who you been
Get
calling
away.
me? Hello. You're gonna call ICE on me?
Get away.
Say that
Get
again.
away.
She said she's gonna call ICE. Call ICE on me.
Maybe we should call ICE on you. Here's the thing, right? The social outrage is not going to work. Why? Because this is a black woman. Like, please ask black women if they care about reporting you to ICE. They do not care. They do not care. The social outrage will not slam this as hard as it would be if it was a white woman that said this. That's the reality of it. That's the reality of it. The black community is fatigued too, bro. They're done with it as well. They're like, get the fuck out of my face. We're done with this shit. All right. She set up a call ICE. You know what? United Airlines, they deserve this, because I don't know if you guys know this, but United Airlines was one of the airlines that says that they're going to defer people from the new Trump airport, and they'll pay for you to get reflighted to another location for your layover. So they kind of deserve this. I think this is funny. I'm curious to see whether or not they're going to fire this woman, though. So Border Czar Tom Holman, I said this a year ago. If the hateful rhetoric doesn't stop, there will be bloodshed. Unfortunately, I was right. It's not over yet. I'm afraid we're going to bury another ICE agent. Well, yeah. I mean, like, of course this is going to end up this way. The left is constantly spewing rhetoric that ICE are a bunch of Nazis, since I'm on YouTube. Nazis, they're Hitler, they're fascist, they're oppressive, all of that. They've been running that narrative for almost a year and a half now. So what did you expect was going to happen? If people truly believe that ICE is made up of these individuals, of course they're going to try to stop that. Who wouldn't? If I went to you, Scotty, or anybody else that's in the Discord right now, and I told you the next coming of Hitler is here, who wouldn't want to stop that? Of course, people are going to take action against that.
Yep.
They're not changing. The train is for the cameras. How do you operate the camera? What's the requirements? When do you turn it on? When do you turn it off? How quick do you need to store the data?
The anti-fascist becomes the fascist.
So there's a lot of work in.
That's the stuff I hate about the movement, is that I hide behind the guise of anti-fascism, which means that you can't criticize me because I said I'm anti-fascist. So that shields me from criticism. It's like it's like robbing a bank wearing like a shirt that says you're a cop. Like I'm dressed up as a cop. Like I'm obviously, law enforcement, but I'm robbing a bank, right? So you can't criticize me. I'm law enforcement.
Training the trainers. Once they get
it's very hard to hear this audio, though. Chat, can you hear the audio? I just need to know if you guys can hear it. Sometimes the microphones that the press use are just not picking up the audio that people need to hear. So let me know in the chat if you guys can hear this.
And they implement and deploy and tell people, here's how you use it and here's how you control it.
So what's the timeline then for every immigration agent to have a body cam?
It's pretty low.
My way.
So you're satisfied with the training right now of ICE agents? Nothing needs to be improved.
They're asking if he's satisfied with the training of ICE agents and that they don't think anything needs to be improved.
And there's always room for that's a loaded question. There's always room for improvement. Things change all the time. FBI updates their training. DEA updates their training. Every police department updates their training. Because ICE used to look. You can never be overtrained. I wish there was more training.
I think American people want the answer of when every ICE agent will be wearing a body camera. I know you said as soon as possible, but is there a time?
I actually agree that every ICE agent should be wearing a body camera at this point, because notice that the criticisms of the police rapidly started to drop once they started wearing body cameras, because now you get the perspective of the police officer. So it isn't like, oh, this person got pew-pewed or they got roughed up and tackled a little bit. Thank you, LP, for the high five, guys. It's the being able to see before everything happened that counts. So I think once we get these cameras on these ICE agents and these body cams, you're going to start seeing everything that happens prior to the left cutting the clip and being like, oh, this is what happened afterwards. Okay, what led us to this? is what's important as well. Thank you, Linda. Thank you so much for the fortune cookie. Appreciate that, guys.
And I'm not saying that ICE agents are getting out of line, but it also is a deterrent for the officers to get out of line. Okay. It keeps them in check also.
Yeah. It's really hard to play this audio, guys. Many people aren't even able to hear it.
That's too.
Yeah, it's just the audio's low. Tom Holman just got emotional about violence against ICE agents, stormed off from the press. I can't even get a carton of milk at the grocery store without security detail. Why? Because I'm enforcing laws. It's pathetic and disgusting. Well, that's up by design, by the way. I showed you documentation on Friday from the election interference documents that Trump released, showing that China is even sowing division within our countries, using NGOs and using these organizations to play into the division in the United States. And a lot of that is playing on what ICE is doing. You have to ask yourself why these people don't want to enforce immigration, because it makes it easier for terrorists to infiltrate our country. It makes it easier for cartels to infiltrate our country. It makes it easier for the birthright citizenship of Chinese nationals to get into our country, have kids, and then make them have citizenship. All of that is part of the plan. So this is why they have to attack ICE the most, is because ICE, HSI, and DHS is the main mechanism in defeating that. So they have to attack these organizations the most. Thank you, Flower. This is what I'm saying. The Democratic Party has been completely hijacked because Democrats that voted for Barack Obama in his first term, they wanted deportations. They supported immigration enforcement. They were not anti-immigration enforcement until Donald Trump got into office. And then something snapped within the party. Something completely changed. Because the Clinton administration deported 11 million immigrants. 11 to 12 million immigrants were deported under the Clinton administration during his term. A lot. Mass deportations. And the left was on board with that. What changed? The influence changed. The ideological subversion is what changed.
We're here with James.
Let's see. James O'Keefe will get back his firearms. He already said he was going to get his firearms back, so I don't think that's like a big newsbreaker. Breaking American forces reportedly launched 7 consecutive airstrikes targeting Iranian military, missile, and drone bases at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. Massive fires reported at multiple sites, casualties feared. IRGC headquarters is allegedly suppressing the news and banning all video uploads. Are you surprised? They can't let any of their civilians know that they're getting their ass whooped. Let me see. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Also, if you guys like any news updates, Breaking 911 is a great source for that, by the way. Air France has suspended all flights to Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates for the next 7 days, citing deteriorating security situation in the region. Well, no shit. That was a given. More than a week after Lindsey Graham's death, Darlene Graham announced to Sean Hannity that she is running for the full Senate term to succeed her brother in South Carolina. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know this woman at all. Do you know Darlene Graham? I've never seen her involved in like the political sphere.
The president again saying, I hope Darlene does this. Meaning, I hope you will get, and here's the filing deadline for people that don't know. And these are just the laws of South Carolina.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you so much.
The filing begins tomorrow.
I love you guys. Thank you.
I think you have a week.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And by that time, the funerals won't even have taken place.
I know.
And then the president's putting an ask on you, we'll put it that way. It's a lot of pressure.
It is a tremendous amount of pressure.
Tell me what's going through your head about it. Where do you stand now?
I put Scotty's comment up here. Trump endorsed her. Listen, Trump can endorse good candidates, right? But Trump also endorsed Lindsey Graham. I wasn't a big fan of Lindsey Graham. I'm going to be honest. I'm not a big fan of his policies. And I'm sure that his sister is going to be a Lindsey Graham 2.0. I'm going to be honest. I'm not a big fan of that at all.
And just remember that that's another Scotty, not this Scotty.
I know.
That's not my comment.
Scotty Morton. Scotty Morton. Thank you. Thank you. There's a right. Thank you so much for the Sunday. So here's the issue, right? Trump has selected good candidates, but Trump has also selected bad candidates too. Okay. This is where, even though I support Donald Trump, I support a lot of the things that he does. I also want to point out that there have been times where Trump did not make the best selection when it came to candidates. Think back to Mike Pence. Think back to Joe Kent. Think back to those individuals and ask yourself, just because Trump endorsed them does not always mean that they are the best pick for the job. Even though I still support Donald Trump, sometimes it's not always good. You know what I mean? I trust a lot of the things that Donald Trump does, but sometimes there are issues that I feel like are simple to push back on and have a good reason to push back on them.
I agree. I think it's easy to say that, though, in hindsight, because that was also during his first term. And in his first term, he knew absolutely nobody going in there when it came to government and who to trust. And he was relying on people in his party who were also against him because he embarrassed them for winning the nomination. It was supposed to be one of them. It was supposed to be one of the established. So everybody hated him, Democrats and Republicans. But now, after being there, his judgment might be a little better. And I think he's realizing that it's okay not to cajole, that these people need to be defeated, that you're never going to be able to reach across the aisle, even if it's within your own party, the rhinos versus the MAGA people. So he might be more inclined to just select loyalists who are willing to just pass the things that he's trying to push.
But JC, and I'm glad that you commented this because I brought up Joe Kent. Joe Kent was part of this administration. Joe Kent acted like he was MAGA for years. And what we found out from Joe Kent is that he was feeding Candace Owens and leaking information out of the government to people in the mainstream media and to people who are in independent media. This was also a select by Donald Trump, or either his advisors advised him to select this person. So even though I think Donald Trump has learned a lot from his first administration, I still think that there are people on the inside that are working against him. And I think he's aware of this in some cases, but to say like Lindsey Graham's sister should take Lindsey Graham's seat, I don't think that is a part of meritocracy, if I'm being honest, right?
No, I'm not referring just to this pick. I was just commenting on
some of his
the
other
comments
picks.
about, his past picks. I think he's gotten better.
He has gotten better, right? But there are still some leaks going on. Kent leaked to Candace.
And I think a lot of that has to do with these people being corrupted also.
Yeah, I agree. And a lot of these people were corrupt from the start too. So one of the things that was a topic of discussion yesterday was the back and forth between Candace Owens and Steven Crowder. Candace Owens says, if you haven't caught on, it's always Steven Crowder who gets the exclusive on the bizarre trans narrative directly from the FBI, like he did for Audrey Hale in the Nashville shooting. There is a reason for that. He helps the FBI establish the trans narrative so the public doesn't, prod further. So this is kind of hypocritical of Candace Owens to say, and I'm going to point out the obvious statement. Candace Owens had people on the inside, like Joe Kent, giving her information. Candace Owens always says, oh, I have a source on the inside, okay? She has feds on the inside too that she gets fed information from. She's admitted to this. So why is there no narrative about Candace Owens being fed slop? Why is she not a fed agent at this point? And I want people to ask themselves this. When Candace Owens came out with this murder plot that she said the French Legionnaire and the Mossad are trying to kill her, she said that she texted somebody at the FBI to notify them that this was happening instead of filing a report. Why, Candace? Is it because you have people on the inside that you have connections with? That would mean that you're part of the Fed slop. So I don't know how people are escaping this, that Candace Owens has so many people on the inside that she gets fed information from, while pointing the finger at other people and saying, well, they have connections inside the government. That means they're a Fed asset or a Fed agent, or the things that they say is Fed slop. And Steven Crowder, by the way, responds to this. He says, cool story. The debate invite still stands, Candace. Take me to task and make me look silly. She will not do this. Okay. The second that you ask Candace basic questions about her narrative, it all falls apart. And I want to like push back on the narrative of the assassination plot on her life. Why did that get so quiet? If somebody was truly trying to assassinate me and I felt that my life was at risk, I would be the loudest person on this planet. These people are trying to kill me. I can't even leave my house. If I leave my house, I'm going to fucking die. But she's not saying any of this. She's not even investigating her own murder plot. She's investigating Charlie Kirk's, but she's not even investigating her own murder plot with the Mossad, right? Is it because she doesn't have actual receipts for that? That's what you need to ask. Turn your earbuds down, or earbuds up, dude. Sometimes the videos that I play are low. Some videos have louder audio than others. That happens. Remember Colton Kreutinger was arrested for allegedly posting a political meme. After his release, he decided to sue those involved today, and I have an amazing update. A federal judge denied the defendant's motion to dismiss. Even more importantly, the court refused to throw the case out based on qualified immunity at this stage. That's a huge win. I remember when I first started reporting on this case, a few corrupt people rushed to defend Hood County, and the sheriff insisted that they had done everything right. But this is exactly what I believe this case was about from the very beginning. Political retaliation, unconstitutional targeting, government censorship, and the abuse of power. This isn't just a victory for Colton. It's a victory for free speech and for holding Hood County accountable. The judge ruled that the lawsuit can move forward, meaning the defendants don't get to escape this case outset by claiming qualified immunity. Now the case moves forward in discovery, where more evidence can be uncovered. Is this the person that Older Millennial was talking about a while back, who posted a meme on Facebook and he got arrested for it? I need to do some digging on this case. I don't think this is the same one. There's another case where somebody got arrested for making a joke about a school shooting and got arrested for that. I'm not sure if it's the same case or not. But I need to actually go back and get an update on that, because I promised Older Millennial that I would make a video if it turned out that he was arrested unconstitutionally. Robbie Starbucks says it's time to expose the Charlie Kirk conspiracy machine that makes money by lying about his murder. I've had enough, and Charlie deserves better. I'm glad that content creators are now growing up and having the balls to actually dispute the things that Candace Owens has said, because many people have sat there quiet while Candace has been doing this whole thing, afraid to speak out, a little late to the game. But people should have been standing up against this from the very beginning. I don't know why it took people so long to start speaking out that the things that Candace Owens is doing is just pure evil against Charlie Kirk's widow. I don't want to get too wrapped up into that, but I am actually glad that people are starting to rebut her narrative. I don't know. Did you guys see this video of the trans person that had a complete meltdown?
What's the problem?
Why do you let those kids get away with this? They are not
That doesn't
supposed
quite
to be
narrow it
here.
down, Millie.
Here's the scary thing, okay? Democrats want these people near your children. Democrats want these type of people with this unhinged ideology to sit down in classrooms and be alone with your kids. I'm very uncomfortable with that. Very uncomfortable with it. Okay. If I can't convince you of reality, why do you need to be in a room with my kids teaching my children about an alternate reality? That's what's scary.
If you don't lower your voice, I am going to put handcuffs on you, and I'm going to take you to a Baker Act facility. Lower your voice.
Fucking try it.
Are you threatening me?
You're threatening me.
Are you threatening me?
I'm not just.
Because I'm here right now to deal with a stolen vehicle. I ain't got time to hear you screaming and yelling.
I don't have time to constantly be abused.
We'll get OPD down here then, because I gotta work this stolen vehicle.
This is a classic example of adult parenting. People seem to think parenting ends at the age of 18. No. There are a lot of adults that still need quite a lot of parenting. And notice the attitude starts simmering down a little bit. He's like, I'll take you to a Baker Act facility. He said, whoop. You just saw his testosterone drop at least 10 levels south.
I ain't got time to hear you screaming and yelling.
I don't have time to constantly be abused.
We'll get OPD down here then, because I gotta work this stolen vehicle.
What do you mean OPD?
Alpha 73 University.
Alpha 73.
Can we get another unit to deal with Jay Lee here? He is having a breakdown.
Say! Just say the right pronoun!
What do you say?
7351.
Get down on the ground right now.
No!
You're about to get sprayed.
No!
Get down on the ground right now.
Leave me alone!
I can come in there.
Leave me alone, please!
Okay, are you going to calm down?
I'm getting my phone out. I have to film this.
I'm telling you, are you going to calm down?
I will calm down. I will calm.
Do you know what this is?
I will calm down when you get the pepper spray on my
That's
face.
crazy.
Alpha 73.
Leave me alone.
I have
Just please.
pepper spray.
Please.
at this individual
Just stop
right now.
pointing the pepper spray at me. I will calm down if you do that. Stop threatening me.
Yeah, lower your voice.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Do you want to get tased?
Perfectly rational response, right? This is how adults respond to the police being like, please calm down. Okay. I want you guys to remember how roid rage came about, right? And it was because people were mixing around with hormones and getting certain levels of their hormones out of whack, which would cause them to do really crazy things they wouldn't normally do, like punch walls, punch people. This is not going to be any different when you start experimenting with hormones in individuals who identify as a different gender.
I want you to leave me alone. You have been particularly abusing me.
If you come,
if
you come towards me one more time,
follow me.
You are gonna
and send your bills administrators.
I gotta
Don't you remember? Don't you remember?
Focus on me, okay?
Get away!
You don't tell me where to go.
Fuck you! Fuck you, cop!
Alpha 73 University.
I want to be away from
no,
him.
it's too late now. It's too late now. He's gonna be taken away.
Shay!
Jaylee, you need to stop.
It's taken.
I just want to get away from.
I'm truly trying to understand, like, if I call you he instead of she, is that actually justified to have this type of response? You've been called he your whole life without having this type of response. But the second that society openly tries to validate these opinions, now it gives you the excuse to act any way you fucking want. That's my problem with this. It's like a shield. Oh, you're trans? Oh, do whatever the fuck you want. That's okay. No one's allowed to criticize you. No one's allowed to have criticisms of you. I'm trans, thus I'm perfectly shielded from all criticisms within society. I'm not allowed to be arrested. Not allowed to be told to stay out of the women's bathroom. I'm allowed to disregard everyone's boundaries within society. And you have to deal with that because I identify as a woman. Come on, guys.
Him.
I understand that.
He needs
Shay! Stop tickling me! Just say Shay!
Yeah, get the gloves on. Yeah.
Josh, can you please just tell them to use the right pronouns? Please
Not even his ally in the corner wants to defend him at this point. He's like, nah, man. Complete silence from the guy in the corner.
You know it's causing me a lot of distress.
I need you to bring it down here, though.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you very nicely. Put your stuff down, turn around, put your hands behind your back.
Thank you, Jordan.
Not
Is that the GameStop's yes, ma'am child? It's ma'am. Yes. I mean, I don't think it's the same guy, but it's definitely giving me that vibe. Again, remember, you're responsible for your own emotions. I'm responsible for my own anger. I'm responsible for my own reactions. And so is this person too. Okay, you don't get to like throw a huge hissy fit out in public and be like, well, I'm allowed to do that because I'm distressed. A lot of people are distressed within society. A lot. Fortuny says, I feel like he's on the spectrum and needs serious help. And that could be true. Okay. There are people who are part of the spectrum that get indoctrinated into this because they're looking for social acceptance and they're not quite sure how to meet that social acceptance because it is a social disorder to begin with. That is true. And it's possible that they could be someone on the spectrum, but it's also possible that it could be someone who had their hormones messed with. And this is why I keep referring back to people who have roid rage, who are heterosexual males, identify as male. And because they do bodybuilding and do things like test and some other steroid drugs, they have very abnormal reactions to basic criticisms. And it causes them to react in a violent outburst way. So it could be a spectrum, but it also could just be you're messing with people's hormone imbalance. It also could be, by the way, and I don't think enough people talk about this, SSRIs. SSRIs can have and elicit very extreme, crazy behaviors. Okay, when you start messing around with all the chemicals up there, it can have some adverse effects. Okay. However, the case, I have 2 children on the spectrum, although my children aren't verbal or independent, and I don't know if they'll be an adult like this or not. But I wouldn't let my child, who would be in this situation if they're on the spectrum, to be running around without like a conservatorship. You know what I mean? Because that allows them to get into actual physical trouble. So I wouldn't be allowing my kid to run around like that on the spectrum.
going to be arrested.
Put your stuff down.
No.
Put your hands behind your back.
No.
Okay, so I'm only gonna ask you one more time. You can record all you want, but it's already beyond that point.
You're stressing me out.
It doesn't matter.
I'm just asking you to please stop stressing.
We already tried to help you. So.
No, you didn't.
Yes.
You came in with hostile intent.
Put your hands.
Be alone.
Get on the ground right now.
Don't
hurt
me.
Get on the ground right now.
Don't hurt me.
Get down on the ground right now.
Hey.
I got a couple of this. I got a come on this way. Stop. Get down. Get down.
Leave me alone. Help! Help me!
I want to remind you, and I'm glad Xtina brought this up. I cannot. They expect women to deal with this in our spaces. That's the crazy part, okay? That this person could come into a woman's locker room that may have little girls in there, including the bathroom, and women are supposed to deal with these people inside of our own spaces. And this is a grown-ass man that is encountering this. This is a cop and a grown-ass man that is encountering this person. And look at the reaction that this person exhibited. Imagine women, young women, and little girls having to deal with this type of person inside their personal space where they should be protected and have boundaries.
Get down.
Get down.
Get him down.
Go. Hand behind your back. Put your
I still
hand
don't
behind
need
your
to
back.
do that part.
I can't. I just,
No.
my rights. I just wanted you to.
Come on, stop.
Josh, please.
But he identifies his back at his front.
Josh, please, this is all a big misunderstanding.
I'm gonna spray him.
No, please don't say him. Her.
Okay, her. I'm gonna spray her.
Thank you.
Put your hand behind your back.
No.
Yes.
So it doesn't even matter if you say the pronouns or not. Even if you tell her to get her hands behind her back, she still doesn't comply. So
I don't want to spray you.
Give me your hand.
Thank you. Yeah, that.
Is there any way I can?
No, give me your hand.
Please.
Give me your hand.
I just, please. I can calm down if you just give me some space.
See what's gonna happen?
That hurts.
Put your hand behind your back.
Put your hand behind your back.
These cops are actually being really nice. I'm not gonna lie. Like, this cop is like saying, "This is what's gonna happen if you don't stop. We're showing you this, so comply now. Don't make me do this." Like, these cops are being so fucking patient.
Hand behind your back.
Space.
Give me your hand.
I just need
Give me
space,
your
please.
hand.
Put your hand.
Jalen, give me your hand.
Okay, I'm gonna tase you if you don't cooperate.
Taser, taser, taser.
Jalen, give me. Jalen, it's gonna hurt, man. Just give me your hand. He's not gonna tase you. You give me your hand.
You're gonna arrest me.
No.
Give me your hand.
Yes, we need your hand.
Thank you, Stinky.
Don't arrest me.
There it is.
Let go. Give me your hand.
You're gonna get it again this time.
Give me your hand. Give me your hand.
Leave me alone.
Give me your hand.
Alone.
Oh, it's so satisfying.
Holy crap, bro.
Your hand.
I got his leg. I got his leg.
Someone that unstable should not be around women and children. Exactly. Look at what the cops have to do to get this man to stop being ridiculous. And they want us to deal with this inside women's spaces. I don't want to deal with this fucking Looney Tunes inside my bathroom or inside my locker room. This is craziness. Thank you, Stinky. And thank you so much, Eric, who sent an eagle. Thank you so much, man. Pretty cool, right? I think YouTube woke up to doing the gift animations the way that TikTok does. So good for them.
Let go. Put your wrist. Relax him, okay? There you go.
We got him.
And we got charges.
7 whole minutes, by the way, it took to detain this person. 7 whole minutes. What is this? Iran-backed Houthi terrorists in Yemen announced a ban on Saudi maritime navigation, warning they're ready to respond to any Saudi action. I'm so tired of the Houthis, right? Please throw their dick in the dirt. I just want America to come in with their big old destroyers and just show them what's up. Like, what are you going to get us with? The mosquito fleet? You can get your speedboats out on the water? Please, please, take the restrictions off the military and let them just go ham. I know that's what Pete Hegseth is waiting for. And that reminds me, I wanted to play this clip because I think Pete Hegseth is just waiting for Donald Trump to give the word because I think he's just going to go crush them completely.
Being an American means something unbreakable. If you kill Americans, if you threaten Americans anywhere on earth, we will hunt you down without apology and without hesitation, and we will kill you.
Bet.
President Trump has also been very consistent. Crazy regimes like Iran, hell-bent on prophetic Islamist delusions, cannot have nuclear weapons. Being an American means
sometimes I think we're way too soft on these people. America could crush these people easily. And they refuse not to do it. Laura Trump unleashes on Candace Owens and her cult. Laura is calling for the conspiracies to stop. Thank you, Extorted. Thank you so much. The weird part is that all of these people will come out and condemn her, but that only fuels the cult even more. Does that make sense? The more that people that are close to Donald Trump come out and tell Candace Owens to stop, she gets to use that and recycle that as, oh, see, the Fed slop's trying to stop me. The only way in some cases, to be honest, to get this to stop is you got to ignore Candace. You can like call her out on her bullshit and then move on, right? Don't spend too much time on it. And it seems like there's a coordinated attempt for everyone to come out and start like debunking her conspiracies. Sometimes it doesn't matter the truth that you put in front of people's faces. Okay. Some people just don't want to believe. That's why you have to ask them the question when you ever debate people who think that there's an alternative Tyler Robinson conspiracy going on with the Charlie Kirk murder. Ask them the simple question. What proof do you need to see to accept that it was Tyler Robinson? Because if they say there's nothing, then they're only looking for confirmation bias. That is it. All right. Even some of Candace Owens's old supporters, even some of her old supporters are waking up to it and going, wait, this seems a little bit more planned. And I'm glad this video is in the lineup, because this is what I'm saying is Candace gets destroyed with basic questions. I'm not kidding when I say that this woman is fucking way high on weed. She probably smoked like 6 blunts before doing this interview with Candace Owens. And Candace Owens was defeated with a basic question about something that was written in the indictment.
You believe that Charlie Kirk was betrayed by someone close to him. What do you mean?
I think that in the coming weeks, there's going to be a lot of financial reports that are coming out. And I, first and foremost, do not believe that Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk. I want to be very clear on that. Whether he was involved, I think the answer is yes. I think that's obvious.
And your basis for saying he didn't act alone is what?
I don't know, maybe the weird Fed messages that were concocted out of thin air that had no timestamp and were written like they were speaking in 1822, among other things. Their lack of an ability to answer any basic questions about what took place.
But do you have any proof that the messages were made up? Because that would be easily proven.
Yeah, but they didn't put timestamps on them, and Discord came out and said they didn't exist.
This was supposedly text messages, not Discord messages. It's my understanding from the indictment.
I actually did not read that they were text messages.
Because she didn't read the indictment. It's that simple. Candace Owens does not read the sources that she gets. I don't know who tells her the information that she has, but it's very clearly written inside of the indictment, Utah versus Tyler Robinson. This is a state prosecution, by the way. State prosecution, not federal prosecution. And not only that, we now have the cell phone of Tyler Robinson's furry boyfriend. Okay. You could read the text messages within the cell phone. You can also read the Discord messages as well. Then you have Tyler Robinson's boyfriend getting on interview and admitting all of the things that they say inside the indictment. This looks really, really bad for the prosecution. It's going to be very hard for them to withstand this.
The indictment calls them text messages.
What would it be like the feds are like on a computer, typing it out back and forth?
That's exactly what it is. The feds made up the text messages.
But you don't have anyone from like the FBI telling you that, or law enforcement?
Leaks.
There she is admitting it. So like Candace Owens, okay, wants everyone to believe that the people at TPUSA are nothing but Fed operatives and Fed agents, while she openly admits that she has leaks from inside the federal government herself, which in this, I think she's referring to Joe Kent, by the way. But she's not Fed slop. She's not a Fed operative, right? Meanwhile, we have people inside the intelligence agency from James O'Keefe's leaked video that actively works against Donald Trump and his administration. It's crazy work. Basic questions, right? She will never debate Steven Crowder. I can promise you that. All right, we already covered Lindsey Graham's sister. Dr. Oz has a message. In South Florida alone, there are twice as many durable medical equipment suppliers as there are McDonald's restaurants. We are happy to say that we wiped out nearly all fraud DME, a protection of our resources and America's hard-earning money.
No inventory, no store. Look around. This is a real business. Burgers on the grill, people working, rent's getting paid. Now here's the shock. In South Florida, where I am now, there are twice as many durable medical equipment suppliers as McDonald's. Twice. What's going on? Many of these businesses aren't even real. They're what insiders call bust outs. No inventory, no storefronts, no patient's help. Instead, they steal Medicare beneficiary numbers from our seniors and build for equipment like hospital beds, wheelchairs, and oxygen tanks that are never shipped. By the time Medicare figures out the scam, millions of dollars go out the door and fast, transferred overseas before anybody can stop it. Now, here's the uncomfortable truth. It's often easier to open one of these sham durable medical equipment companies than a bank account. That's why working with banks is critical to suffocating this scam. And they need to all get on board fast. Follow the money, and you'll stop the fraud. So under the Vice President's leadership, the White House Fraud Task Force took action by imposing a national moratorium on new durable medical equipment suppliers, giving our CMS team this space to hunt down and crush this corruption. Because every dollar stolen is a dollar taken from a senior who actually needs care. And if they steal our money, they will steal our health. And this administration is not letting that happen on our watch.
Good. Let's check in and see how Nick Shirley is doing. I haven't checked on his content here in a while.
Like $12.9 million.
I didn't even get to play this video as well because we were on TikTok. I'm sure many people have already seen it by now, but we should go back at some point and rewatch this video too. But I don't know if Nick Shirley has dropped anything else. The last time he posted was July 16th, and then he posted something to his subscribers about finishing a new video in New York City. But I'm sure it won't be long before New York City bans him from talking about anything that he's filming. It won't be long before they pass legislation saying he can't film there. Man and his family go to a Morgan Wallen concert. Some guy relieved himself on them. What?
I get it. Okay, and there's nothing we can do about a guy physically pulling out his dick and pissing on me right now. Nothing we can do with that in front of an 8-year-old girl, because I'm going to post this all over the internet and everything. And it's not the best, you guys. It's the best Maryland's law.
Listen, it doesn't make a difference if we. I just explained this to you.
No, I get it.
We're not. We cannot take him into custody.
And I'm not blaming you.
We're going to give you his information, and you can be referred to the commission.
And again, I'm not blaming you because you can only do what the law is stating, right? Correct. But I'm going to make it known that I had a gentleman whip his dick out at a Morgan Wallen concert, piss on me, my brother, and my niece, and the Maryland State Police can do nothing about it. Not a thing. And it's absolutely okay, and they're going to say, do what you want to do if you want to press charges.
Did they give you his information?
Yep, I got his information. Can I get who's in charge of the stadium? Stadium security. I want to have a conversation on this.
How is that a thing? How is that a thing? You pull out your dick and you piss on people and you don't get arrested?
That is weird.
What the fuck? What the fuck? In front of an 8-year-old, by the way. He said his daughter was with him and witnessed the whole thing. So let me get this straight. In Maryland, someone could pull out their cock in front of an 8-year-old, pee on her dad in front of the 8-year-old, and you can't be arrested for doing that. What the fuck? Only in a Democrat state this would fly. This would not fly in Florida, by the way. Florida sheriff would not tolerate this shit. You did what in front of a minor? Off to jail. Off to jail. No bail either. No bail. That's crazy.
Absolutely crazy that you can pull your dick out, piss on somebody, and nothing happens. And you guys, like, there's nothing. Absolutely amazing.
You can either accept it. I don't know what else to
I'm
tell
not
you.
mad at you. I'm mad at the
Because
system.
now you're making a scene.
I'm mad at the system.
We're trying to help you, and you just continue to just go back
I'm
and
mad
do
at the
the
system.
same thing.
I'm mad at the system.
We helped
You haven't helped me.
you. We did help you.
You haven't. You haven't helped anybody.
I guess the real question is how many people have to get pissed on at the concert before the police arrest him? So like this guy already peed on a man in front of an 8-year-old with his full member exposed. And he can just go back into the crowd, refill his bladder and go pee on other people. How many people have to get pissed on before it's a problem? Before you arrest somebody? I can't believe that wouldn't be considered assault. The fuck? I don't know. I think you should be registered as a sex offender to be pulling your cock out in front of kids. I don't know.
What if you turned around after getting peed on and knocked the guy the fuck out? Would you go to jail then?
Yes. Yes. That's the sad
ridiculous.
part about the situation. If the dad would have
Right.
punched that guy in the face and punched him in the crotch, he'd be going to jail. But the other guys wouldn't be going to jail. Google says the cops are wrong.
Actually, I don't think he would, because that's assault. He's that spitting on one, peeing on him, that's assault.
All right, let's see. Yes, peeing on someone is a crime in Maryland. Depending on the circumstances of the act, it can lead to multiple serious criminal charges under state law. So, what? Second-degree assault, intentional throwing, spraying, or placing a bodily fluid like urine onto another people without their consent is prosecuted as a misdemeanor. And second-degree assault, if convicted, an individual faces penalties of up to 10 years in prison, a fine to up to $2,500 or both. Ingesting.
So you could absolutely punch that dude. Yeah, you could beat the crap out of him. There'd be nothing that he could come after you for.
Indecent exposure,
but then that
which
begs the question, then why didn't they arrest the guy to begin with for the assault, for peeing on him?
Disorderly conduct, disrupted, offensive natures of the act in public space can result in... I can't imagine that private property would make a difference of whether or not this person could be charged. Like, I guess the cops said that he could... Hang on, let me just rewind this at the beginning.
Okay, and there's nothing we can do about a guy physically pulling out.
Thank you, unknown.
The guy just walked into midstream.
Nothing we can do with that in front of an 8-year-old girl.
I don't know how this is going down, I swear.
And it's not the best you guys. It's the best Maryland's law.
Listen, it doesn't make a difference if we. I just explained this to you.
No, I get it.
We're not. We cannot take him into custody.
And I'm not blaming you.
We're going to give you his information, and you can be referred to the commission.
And again, I'm not blaming you because you can only do what the law states.
But the law states that this is assault. So why isn't he why couldn't he be taken into custody? It's second-degree assault. I think the cops are wrong here. And I mean, the cop didn't make it clear from the discussion why he couldn't take them into custody. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, I mean,
Probably just didn't want to deal with it.
Apparently. All right, let's go to Libs of TikTok. Curious to see what she's got on the menu today. All right. Lyft has an option for women to exclusively match with only women and non-binary drivers. So women want only women drivers can be paired with a man as long as the man says he's non-binary. Holy shit. That kind of defeats the purpose, yeah? I mean, doesn't that defeat the purpose of like saying like women want to only ride with women, but a man can identify as a woman or a man can identify as being non-binary, and you still end up in a car with someone else who is got a dick? I don't know.
What happens in Maryland in that situation if said Lyft or Uber driver pulls out their cock and proceeds to pee on the female occupant? You know, like that would be an interesting situation.
Yeah. I really don't I would like an explanation from the Maryland State Police, because it looked like a statey that talked to him about that. That didn't look like a regular sheriff's office. That looked like a state police that said that. James Talarico wants to get rid of prisons. I'm sure that this will go over well with Texans. What is with the left in trying to get rid of prisons? How does that make our community safer? Where did I go? I think I scrolled out. It's possible. Guys, don't forget to go to the main channel and hit like. I think that helps a lot with the algorithm. I'm not sure how YouTube algorithm works, but honestly, I think we're doing great. We have 330 people in here. I think we're doing a great job, by the way.
It's hard to imagine a world without prisons.
Like it and share it. Like, you know, copy the link out and share it to your friends via text message. Send it to people on Discord. Send it to people on TikTok and private messages. It's going to help boost up their algorithm right now and build this other platform up so we can stop dealing with TikTok.
Honestly, I feel a lot better being on YouTube than I am with TikTok, to be honest. I'm much happier over here. Let's see what Talarico has to say here, though.
It's hard to imagine a world without prisons, but it's also hard to
Thank
imagine
you, Craze.
a world without
Thank you for the flower.
and cassette tapes. Just because it's hard to imagine doesn't mean you shouldn't. It's hard to imagine a world without prisons, but
Well, I mean, what do you plan to do with the pedophiles? Like, so somebody is out there raping children, and so what do you do with those people if you're not going to put them in prison? I mean, if the alternative is you want to like throw them at the bottom of a lake, okay. But that better be the alternative, because if the alternative is you slap them on the wrist and let them back out in society, what the fuck are we talking about here? These are the people that are talking about the Epstein class, saying, well, these people need to go to prison, while actively saying that, well, we don't support prisons and we want to get rid of prisons. Like, this makes zero sense. Am I crazy, or is this what I'm hearing from the left?
That's what you're hearing.
So abolish laws because what's the point? I mean, if we want to go back to the Wild Wild West, okay. I don't know if that's going to work out the way people think it is. Thank you, Mike, for the flower. Thank you so much. And thank you, Unknown. GG. Thank you, man. All right. Yeah, no, that's it's a little bit weird for me. The left wants to cause chaos in order to be in charge. No, I think that, I mean, part of that, yes, but the left wants to get in charge and win elections and then create more chaos. That's what they're advocating for. They're like, elect me and I'll get rid of prisons. Who's voting for this shit? I'm trying to figure out who they're appealing to.
The DSA, Hassan Piker.
Yeah. Thank you, Melanie, for the floating heart. I don't know. This feeling... Go ahead, sorry.
P.S. Unknown needs to send me the video from the debate with Parker yesterday.
Did you debate him?
Yeah, it was really embarrassing for Parker.
Oh, you should have messaged me.
It was great. He went down the route of foreign policy with me.
At least he had the balls to debate it and didn't chicken out like Dean. I mean, that was kind of crazy that he refused to debate foreign policy with you. David Blackman.
Did he remember you?
Yeah, did he remember me? Or you? Sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you, Christy, for the watermelon. I mean, at least he knows who you are.
Well, yeah, he was on the panel with Dean when I debated Dean.
Yeah, I think these people are afraid to debate things that are outside their comfort zone, which, you know, like, I may not know everything about every subject, but I'll at least be willing enough to like discuss things with people and hope to learn from those conversations, even if I make statements that end up being wrong and then I have to correct myself. I mean, I think that's good. The video keeps playing. Is it still playing for you guys? I don't think the audio is playing. Thank you, Rocky. Rocky said Parker is a child. I mean, technically, the video is on repeat. It shouldn't be. Nothing should be on repeat right now, unless your app is bugged. No audio playing for me right now. Yeah, you need to swipe out. I think something's glitched with your account if it's still playing for you.
I'm endorsing Abdul.
All right, let me see. I think there was a couple of other things that I wanted to show, and I don't have time to do interviews. That sucks. Also breaking, the U.S. House has just passed the Save America Act attached to must-pass national security legislation. I think this is a bad idea, and I'm going to explain why. When they attach this to the NDAA, that means that now the left isn't going to pass military pay for our service members. I want the Save America Act passed. I do. But what's going to end up happening is we're going to use the collateral as being paid for our armed service members not getting paid while they're overseas. And we know the Senate's not going to pass this. Okay, we can't even get them to do it with a simple majority, let alone trying to get Democrats to pass this. And this is going to be another excuse for the Democrats to shut down the government and not fund the military.
That's a really good point.
I think it's a bad idea. Like, and the military, luckily, most of them get paid through like Navy Fed, or some of their credit unions will be willing to front their paycheck for a while, but only for a certain amount of time. I don't believe that. I do. I really do. Okay. Do not put it beyond the Democrats to shut down the government for the fourth time in order to stop Republicans from getting the things that they want. Okay. They're more than willing to do that. And I don't want our military, while they're out there dealing with the shit in Iran, having to deal with worrying about whether their family is getting a paycheck while they're overseas. I really don't want them dealing with that stress. It's very stressful on families, especially with some of the lower enlisted. They don't get paid a lot, and some of them are truly paycheck to paycheck and could just be one paycheck away from going into deep amount of debt. I don't want that for our people. Here was the awesome footage, by the way, of a cop that came across a scene where a car was on fire. And this is why we don't thank our police enough. There's so much hate about officers doing things wrong. And sure, there's some cops that get it wrong. But there's also cops that literally put their life on the line and put their body on the line to save people. And this is one of those examples.
Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out of the car! Get out of the car! Let's go! Come out of the car! Open it! Open it! Open it! Get out! Get out! Come out through the window! Hey, come out through the window! Sir! Come out through the window now! Give me your hand! Give me your hand! Give me your hand! Give me your hand now! I got you! Give me out! All right, you okay? Anybody else in the car? No one else in the car? No one else in the car? Come with me. Here. Come with me. Is there anyone else in the car? No one else in the car? Come with me here. Come with me. He's okay.
See, absolute heroes on our street every day. And yet people say they want to call for defunding the police, which is just really sad. Because I think most of the time cops get it right. And there are some that get it wrong. But for every bad cop, there's like 10 good cops out there. I wanted to bring this to everyone's attention because Andy is putting out a new book. And I didn't even know about the Zizians until I came across his commercial for his book. So I just wanted to share this with you guys.
Who are the Zizians? It's a question that consumed my life, one that took me from England back to America to investigate from coast to coast. What began as a small and obscure California community became something else entirely. A cult built around a trans figure known as Ziz. Around Ziz, a secretive network of transgender devotees emerged. What they left behind was a trail of violence, linked to 8 deaths, including a Border Patrol agent and a key murder trial witness. Over nearly a decade, the group recruited followers from around the world and spread across the United States before collapsing in a dramatic interstate manhunt. As I investigated, the story became darker, more shocking with every turn. Left-wing ideology, hideouts on land and at sea, staged death, human experimentation, brutal violence, murder. I tracked down sources, interviewed witnesses, uncovered hidden records, and pieced together an impossible story from fragments scattered across the world. What emerged was one of the most disturbing investigations I've ever undertaken. This is the true story of the Zizians.
So Andy Go has been a huge independent journalist. He's much like James O'Keefe, and James O'Keefe commented on this, by the way. Oops, excuse me. He said, I read The Cult of Ziz. Andy provided an advance copy. There are a few journalists willing to stare into the abyss without losing their humanity. Andy Go has the courage to continue holding the mirror up to radicals who have sought to destroy him for reporting the facts. He has not lost himself while doing it. It is a meditation on what happens when ideology ellipses humanity. It is also a testament to the reporter himself, who stands in sharp contrast to those, as Andy writes, cede language to ideology, cede clarity, and with it the truth. The surrender of the truth in journalism, he argues, has become so integrated that most people don't question it because they're not aware that they are being misled. And that's the truth, right? It's what me and Middies talk about a lot with ideological subversion is people are too embedded in ideology to be able to see from an outside perspective what's going on. So a lot of that has to do with the radical movements and organizations going on the left, the trans ideology being part of that. Where can it be watched? It's not a watch. It's a book. This is a book that Andy Go wrote. So I think it's on Amazon right now and on pre-order, on sale October 13th, pre-order now. So it seems like James O'Keefe got the advanced copy, so he got to read about it, but this is his promotion for his book. He's a great independent journalist. A lot of his work has been displayed going after Antifa.
You think that one?
Oops, excuse me. But he does a great job as an independent journalist. Same with James O'Keefe. Let me see. I think one of the other things is Benny Johnson was talking about a dead body had shown up on what is it? What's her name? Congresswoman Presley. I think her name is Alyssa or Alana Presley. This video I thought was fucking crazy. This is another prime example of why we shouldn't let everybody vote, by the way.
Y'all, so the CDC is saying that all produce is contaminated with parasites and all this other kind of stuff, and I'm just going to make sure I am protecting me and my household. So I'm going to go ahead and wash my lettuce before I eat it. I went ahead and just put my drainer in, sprayed it with some Dawn dish soap. I put just a capsule of bleach.
That's not a capsule of bleach, by the way. That's like 6 capsules of bleach.
And sprayed it until I got all the suds and all the bleach out. Now, I did go ahead and clean it really well. I had to put my hands in it and make sure I really got everything.
Are you
off,
stupid?
all of the leaves, because I do not
Are you
want my
stupid?
kids or my husband
Oh my
to
God.
get the parasites. We cannot have anyone in the house sick. So I went ahead and thoroughly cleaned my produce.
During
do
the
what you want to do.
scamdemic,
This is what I'm doing in my
a friend of
household.
mine,
What's safe for me and my
he wasn't
family.
doing
I went
this,
ahead
but
and
he was
patted it
washing
dry,
his
and once it
hands
was all
with
clean,
bleach.
I went ahead and plated a
He
salad.
went
I had
he went
lettuce,
crazy. I
little
was like,
Parmesan
"You're
cheese, some
just burning
croutons, and I
off your
had
skin.
some
What's wrong with you?" And you could see like it blistering and it's red and it's chafed. And I'm like, "That's not COVID-19. That's because you're washing your hands in bleach. Get a grip."
Unrealness.
And you know what?
Go ahead.
He was a Trump supporter like me. I'm like, "What's wrong with you?" I mean, people get freaked out, man. It's a total psyop. People get affected.
Unrealness said, I decided to poison my entire family. Listen, I don't know if they did this for clicks and views or whatever, bro, but like, let's be honest. There are some people out there with goldfish IQs and they can vote. Okay. These people can vote for who is running the country. They can vote for who's their mayor and state and local level. I thought this was crazy. And not the shrimp and cheese, guys.
Second shrimp, and I topped it off. Y'all, it was a 10 out of 10. All in all, my lettuce was clean and healthy to eat. Bye, y'all.
Just letting you know those people can vote. It's kind of scary. It's because it's a little bit terrifying. Hold on 1 second. Let me get down to the. Well, this one was funny too. This guy trying to describe what socialism was.
I know I saw a statistic, amazing for you guys. More than half of young Americans now prefer socialism over capitalism. So if you can look into the camera and give a 30-second elevator pitch on why socialism is better than capitalism.
Let's hear it.
Community. Are you tired of sitting alone and being by yourself and having no one to talk to? Being a socialist is all about community. It's about literally sitting down and having coffee with a random stranger and talking to them, talking about the game. Hell, I have hugged more strangers in this past summer because of the Knicks game, because of the World Cup, because socialism works. It's the watch parties that Zoran hosted. It's about the parties that we allow. We don't have cops hogging every single site and saying, oh, you can't be here because there's too many people.
None of this has to do with the economic position of socialism, by the way. This is well, I like block parties. That's not socialism.
It's about being social, just being in their nature, a natural element of talking to each other, to bond over things we love and share. So that's what socialism is. It ain't a scary word. It ain't me taking your house. It's about me making sure your house remains in your hands and some millionaire doesn't take it from you. That's
That's exactly what socialism.
Oh no! Guys, the left is now saying socialism is just being social. We could what do you mean? We're just socializing, okay? That's the best part about socialism. We're not trying to take your house from you. That's literally what they want to do.
It's the party.
Oh, guys, stop it. I can't.
Millionaire doesn't take it from you. That's it.
That's not exactly what socialism is, but you can understand why it sounds attractive.
Again, these are the
It's
people that are
simple. I'm
voting.
going to stop your rent.
Yes. This is what I'm saying, okay? Like, we have to start putting standards for voting, okay? When society is that dumb to think that socialism is just being social, socialism is going to a barbecue, guys. The worst part is Google is free. It's fucking free. Ready. Okay, completely free. What is socialism? Socialism is an economic, political philosophy advocating for collective, public, or worker ownership of the means of production rather than private ownership. It's free. 5 seconds. Oh my God. You know, back in early 2000s, when I watched that movie Idiocracy, I didn't think it would be a reality so soon. I didn't think that I would see that within my lifetime. And now I'm actively watching it happen. People are just that dumb with the biggest access to information at your fingertips. Fuck.
From going up, I'm going to protect you from the greedy landlords, and I'm going to keep you in your home. Yet it's under the socialist Mamdani where the median rent in New York City just hit an all-time high of nearly $5,300 a month. This is how it happens. First, Mamdani freezes the rent for nearly 1 million apartments. That means the landlord is legally blocked from raising prices, even if there's repairs or higher taxes. So some landlords can't afford to maintain the apartment. Then comes the final step. The government takes control and they call it social housing. But it just means the state uses the crisis it helped create as the excuse to take private property away from the owner. The most important thing is that in his pitch, he doesn't need any facts about socialism being better, which comes in handy because it's never worked.
What he mentions about the way that they are freezing the rent, right? So The reason why landlords have to increase rental prices is because the cost of maintenance, the cost of upkeep, and the property taxes and insurance goes up, okay? So if your property insurance goes up and your property taxes go up, then in order to maintain that apartment, you have to raise the cost, okay? And so when you can't raise that cost and your ROI starts going further down, further down, further down, if at some point you have a tenant that neglects the apartment and something like the heating system goes out, the cooling system goes out, the water heater, the refrigerator breaks, the dishwasher crashes out, right? That has to be replaced by the landlord. And so when you hit those types of big ticket items, and in order to recoup that cost so you don't go into the negative, you have to increase the rent. So if they do this for a long period of time, then these people can't afford to keep up with the maintenance without running into the negative in order to maintain that apartment. And then they're counting on that. At some point in time, they'll say, you're not upkeeping this apartment. Now we get to do eminent domain and take this from you. Which the sad part is I'm not even sure if the city actually pays them for that property or not. That's something that I need to look into, whether or not they actually get paid out for the property that's taken by the city. That's what I need to look into further. But it's scary. It's scary that we have the youth that's dumb enough to believe that socialism is just like being social. That's crazy. This I thought was crazy too. And it's kind of getting crazy, the advancement of AI. There's so many businesses and industries that are going to go out, and people are going to have a hard time getting employed.
Connections by learning your preferences, remembering past conversations with our custom memory system, and responding in ways that feel personal and consistent over time.
What is that? Is that like a robot replacing a teacher?
Yes. Their plan is to replace teachers with robots. New York School District to become one of the first in the United States to introduce a humanoid robot in the classroom. Sally will have a Western New York accent and teach 11th and 12th grade students at Salma Missa High School. Hopefully I said that right. Sally costs less than the average teacher's salary in New York with a price tag of $57,000. The robot has brown hair and can move its arms and legs, but will not be able to walk around the classroom. Students will be able to log in to the humanoid and can recognize students and their previous interactions. The humanoid will be helping teach coding, robotics, and AI classes. The school district promises that robots will never replace human teachers. Sally is made by Realbotics, which produces companion robots. That's gross.
How can it say that when it just did? It will never replace the teachers, but we're going to replace the teacher.
I think this
Can I just say, Millie, just flood it. Just flood it. Okay, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. Just flood it.
At what point, though, does enough industries and employees get replaced by AI and robotics that we move to a universal basic income?
This is crazy.
I think if this advances enough that we might actually be on the cusp of a universal basic income.
Just somebody invent Doc Brown's time machine and let me step in the DeLorean and take me back. Just take me back to the 80s or something. I just can't deal with this anymore.
Unrealness says, with an epidemic of teachers sleeping with their students, maybe this will stop it. I'm trying to be glass half full. Yeah.
Hey, just an FYI, we just started a new wave of strikes on Iran.
It just happened.
Just started. They just announced it. It sounds like Israeli officials are reporting operational plans, waiting the President Trump's approval.
Good. What was the specific again? Because like for the past 8 or 9 nights, we've been striking them. What's different?
Yeah, it's a new wave. So we stopped the wave from last night. Now it's another wave of strikes has begun.
Okay. All right. Good.
So this will be
Keep the foot on the throat.
This will be the 11th round of strikes. Today at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, U.S. forces began a new round of strikes against Iran at the commander-in-chief's direction. The strikes are designed to further degrade Iranian military capabilities used to attack commercial shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. You know what I haven't done today? Let's go check WTI futures.
And just an FYI, it sounds like Iran's 33rd Al-Amadi Airborne Division and the 65th NOHED Special Forces Airborne Brigade have reportedly deployed to Abadan. It's a border city that's close to Basra, Iraq.
I mean, I'm glad Donald Trump has gotten in line with the bridge and power plant day situation. I'm happy about it. I think we wasted too much time trying to do the let's come to the table and talk crap. I don't think that was ever going to work. So I'm glad that we got here, but still kind of scary nonetheless. The cost of oil will probably continue to go up. I hope it doesn't reach into the 90s, but we're at $82 a barrel right now. But I don't think there's any out to this that doesn't come with the IRGC getting crippled, because they can't be allowed to continue in the region. So I guess I'm curious, are they hoping for another regime change here to take out the current leadership of the IRGC, is what it seems like, right?
I don't know. The thing that has stood out to me is Israel has not been striking Iran while we've been doing this, and they've been waiting. And I think this MOU has been a distraction to move pieces on the board, and maybe it lasted as long as they expected to, or they estimated, or maybe it happened a little. They broke out of it a little sooner than they were expecting. But I think if I had to guess, based off of some of the comments that have been made by Israel, I would assume that Mossad ground branch has been doing a lot of work inside of the country of Iran, and they are staging something that I would guess, if my suspicions are correct, is going to be spectacular. They kind of alluded to that, and now that they're saying that they're waiting for approval from President Trump for their plans, their operational plans, I'm very curious to see what the rest of this week is going to look like. I would think that this would lay the framework for a complete regime change, and one that's actually coming from the people that is pushed into place by the assistance of the United States and Israel, taking out vast amount of targets very rigorously inside of Iran.
I mean,
It's got to come from the people.
The IDF just put out an hour ago, in accordance with the directives from the political echelon, the Safe Zone pilot program began today, Monday, in southern Lebanon in coordination with the U.S. military at CENTCOM and the Lebanese armed forces. As part of the pilot, teams from the IDF and the U.S. military, the Lebanon armed forces are conducting coordination and planning for the continued implementation of the agreement. The IDF will respond forcefully to any violation of this agreement. So, like I said from the beginning, the Lebanese government is on board with what the U.S. military and the IDF are doing. They do not want Hezbollah inside their country either, right? So, I mean, like, it's so dumb the way that people are like, oh, like, Israel's just attacking Lebanon. They're attacking Hezbollah. Hezbollah does not run Lebanon. They're not the elected government of Lebanon. It's a terrorist organization that's trying to run Lebanon from the inside, outside of its own sovereignty. Yet you have people dumb enough to like defend that standpoint. So
Iran's also stating that if U.S. forces occupy their territory, that they will also target their own territory. I'm assuming they mean with drones and their own missiles. I think that there's a growing possibility that we could see, as much as it pains me to say it, some boots on the ground. Potentially, if not special forces, at the very least. I find it interesting that they're mobilizing specifically to that city in Basra, Iraq. Just curious on, if I had a map in front of me, I could tell, but curious to see where that would be located in relation to the Kurds.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be difficult all in all. I mean, I'm going to try to trust that Donald Trump has a plan here. But I think that time is not on his side with this, unfortunately, with midterms right around the corner. It's not going to play out well. So
we'll see.
I mean,
We'll see what happens.
We'll see,
We have
but
to see if
I'm
we can
not.
spark that uprising.
I don't think that we laid enough groundwork to get people to understand why this has to be done. I don't think we did enough to do that, to get the American people on board with what's going on. So I wanted to touch base, speaking of midterms. They not 6-7. Thank you, 49. Appreciate you. I showed a lot of the interviews of Ashley Webb in the main debate. These are the people that are now competing for the seat of Graham Plattner, by the way.
You have mentioned you're intersex. How did that end up coming about? How did you find all this out?
Through medical records that don't add up. and my birth records.
Okay. Wait, birth records?
Yep.
Can you explain that further? I don't want to.
So, when I was born, the hospital admin for the medical records signed off on the birth record, and they filed it pretty certain a little bit over 30 days past my birth.
Oh, wow.
And then what they told my mother was they supposedly ran out of birth forms. Now, when I reached out to the town clerk of where I was born, I specifically asked them, "Oh, how many other birth certificates did this admin sign?" Turns out mine was the only one.
Oh, okay. Well, what was the...
How does that mean that you're intersex? Wouldn't that be in your medical records, whether or not you had other sex organs or produced other sex organs? How does that relate to you being intersex? I'm confused.
I mean, why was there an issue? What happened? I guess I'm unsure
Exactly,
what
that's
happened.
the issue that I'm.
Do you think this is real, or do you think this is like one of the best trolls ever?
No,
I just don't know.
I think these people truly believe this. I think that the left believes this. The left has to stand 10 toes down on this movement because they're too deep into this to say that this is all garbage. They can't roll it back now. They went way too far with the T community on the LGB.
I know.
And they can't walk it back now because they would have to admit that they were wrong and they lied to people. So they have to go full head on into this without crossing any lines, because if they did so, they would have to admit that they were wrong on a massive level. Saturday Night Live skit. Yeah. I mean, it feels like a Saturday Night Live skit, but it's actually not. It's actually not.
I believe this guy, but I'm sorry, man. It's like, I know one day there's going to be someone that's going to pull a stunt like this. That's just like a massive troll. And it's going to be such a W.
That we are getting trolled. Like the thing is that the left is actively looking us dead in the face and going, "This is a woman, blink, blink." And we're going, huh? Nope, it's a woman. Like, we're getting gaslit and trolled 100%. And they won't give up the act, by the way. They have to.
Years, and mine got destroyed. So now I'm not going to get an answer as to why they did that. But
if they're deploying special forces, it may end up like an initial invasion of Afghanistan. Again, how the Taliban toppled at the time, they will be toppled in the same way. But the Taliban are running Afghanistan now. Like, we didn't complete our goal with Afghanistan. That's the sad part. JD Vance, just going back to this really quick, JD Vance already said that we're not putting boots on the ground. He said that in the Joe Rogan interview. He stood 10 toes down saying that wasn't going to happen. So special forces, maybe. But outside of that, I'm not anticipating heavy boots on the ground from the United States. So
I would say with Afghanistan, that's a completely different situation. And the problem with Afghanistan is we were doing nation building.
I mean, we're still kind of trying to do that right now. Like, we would have to, like, the thing that's worse about the IRGC is that they're operating in like several different locations, including on American soil. That's a lot to counteract. You would have to move massive pawns on that chessboard. And I think that's more than what we were dealing with the Taliban in Afghanistan. I don't know if you agree or disagree, but that's the way I look at it.
I disagree, but that's a long conversation.
That's true. All right, let me finish out how this person figured out. By the way, this is no joke. This person is running to be a senator, by the way, in Maine to take Graham Plattner's seat. This is why I have to watch these fugly videos that are going on right now.
Oh gosh.
Like, and the only reason why I started digging into it was because of I had a blood test drawn and my estrogen was like 285 pgml, and that's with no hormones, just my own production.
Okay, that's significant. Okay, so how did you end up going to get like an estrogen level taken?
Well, I was experiencing hot flashes, and I asked the doctor to run an estrogen test, and I guess they don't do that for.
You're saying so the idea being that you had ovaries, but or you have ovaries, I suppose, that were generating estrogen.
This is truly painful
but,
listening to,
but not necessarily ovulating.
Oh,
is what you're saying?
I don't know about the ovulation. Because I do get symptoms too.
The question is, do you or do you not have ovaries? Do you have ovaries? That's what we need to know. Is there one ovary, two ovaries? What do we got?
Was until I went on
or a
estrogen
dick,
patch, which went away completely.
Well, he's claiming to be intersex, which means that it's possible that you could be a male and have like female organs
Right, like a hermaphrodite.
Well, technically, like hermaphrodites aren't like a technical thing. Like this is a intersex is what they call it, intersex. So he would have to have like a ovary in there that's producing that. But I don't think he says that he has an ovary, right? You like the intersex people would have both male and female organs. Does that make sense? And that the only way that they determine like what your sex is based on like which organ is actually producing the egg or the sperm. Because one or the other. You're either going to produce sperm or you're going to produce eggs. You can't have both. So
okay.
I would I would feel really good on like the 15th day of every cycle, and it was a 29-day cycle that I was experiencing.
I mean, this sounds pretty cycly there. So
and then
let me read
during
you.
That,
cycly.
Go ahead.
During that time, like I also leak like a mucus, which they can't really explain.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. You want to call your
Wait, is he now claiming to have like a vagina? I'm so confused. Is he claiming to have a vagina? Is he claiming that he's leaking mucus from his male member? I'm so like you know what? I think I've had enough of this conversation. I don't know why having conversations about like your run for Senate need to be surrounded by your sex organs. He leaked mucus, bruh. I can't. Let's see. James O'Keefe's still going over whether or not he's gonna get his guns back. Oh boy. Andrew and Tristan Tate are in court fighting extradition to the UK, claiming their charges are politically motivated per their attorney.
Objecting to extradition because Andrew and Tristan are innocent. They've never done nothing wrong. They shouldn't be extradited for crimes they did not commit. They're entitled to have their day of court that we've been litigating the case for 3 years in Palm Beach County in Florida. So we're fighting extradition. We've assembled a team here. These are from the Roy Black's prestigious firm, the Honorable and since passed on Roy Black. He's a legend, and they're here. They have joined our team. We have a competent team. We have a wonderful team. We're looking forward to getting the best possible result under the sun. Proceedings have now started in this courtroom, so I am less liberal with what I'm able to say. But if you have any questions for me, I'll do my best to answer them in a way that's respectful of your time, of our time, and of the court processes.
They acknowledge that the brothers.
Go ahead.
They acknowledge in court that the brothers reviewed the complaint issued with them. Could you explain their first reaction to these allegations?
the allegations, their first reaction to the allegations is the first reaction that any innocent man or woman would have. It's garbage. It's a stitch-up job. They're after us to punish us with the process. The process is the punishment. When you drag somebody's name through the media, when you slander them, when you defame them, when you accuse them of heinous and terrible allegations, the process becomes the punishment until you can clear your name. They've been clearing their names domestically and abroad for years. This is just the next logical conclusion in that situation. Keir Starmer just retired or is retiring. I'm sure he's mad that Andrew and Tristan Tate had a lot to do with his fall in Great Britain. And
I don't think Andrew Tate had anything to do with Keir Starmer's fall in Great Britain. I think a lot of that had to do with like the connections with protecting like Epstein officials, his handling of the situation in Iran, the Labour Party getting tired of him being fined with Muslim rape gangs. Show the video. All right, I'm gonna show the audio because I don't know what YouTube terms of service is. So I think the best that I can do is just show the or play the audio is what I can do. Hang on.
About 30,000 people.
And I'm only going to play a little bit of the audio, guys, because it truly is gross, by the way. Okay.
Tell me you love me. Say it like you mean it. You say it like you mean it.
Sorry, I have to turn this down because it's just that bad.
You message one other guy ever again, whether we're together or not together. You understand me? You understand me? Say it then. Say I understand. Say it like you say it again. Say I understand. Show everyone how pretty you are. Get on your knees and show everyone how pretty you are. Look at the camera. Show everyone how pretty you are. Show the camera your tattoo. What does it say?
Tate.
Why does it say Tate?
Because I'm his whore.
You are my whore.
Yes.
This is Andrew Tate.
You're gonna kiss my man. Why's your ass got a bruise on it?
Because my daddy hits me.
He hits you?
Yes.
Why would he hit you?
Because I'm his whore and he does as he wants.
Listen. Go tell the camera that I beat you and you don't do as I say. Go say it in English, proper English, no Slovak bull. Say it to the camera.
He beats me when I don't listen.
That's not what I said say, is it? I said I said tell the camera I beat you when you don't do as I say. I didn't say the word listen. Did I say the word listen? Did I say the word listen? Stupid bitch. I didn't say the word listen. Did I say listen? Did I say listen?
No.
Look at the camera. Did I say listen?
No.
Did I say listen to you? Did I say it?
No.
Did I say it? Look at the camera. This is what happens. You don't listen. Look at the camera.
All right, I think you guys heard enough, right? Is that enough to believe that the Tate brothers are likely guilty of the things that they're being accused of? It doesn't take a rocket science to like a rocket scientist to hear and watch. That's just the audio, by the way, of him hitting multiple women. That's not even the whole video. There's more than that. So like whatever he's being accused of doing, it takes a special kind of sadist to film themselves beating women like that. By the way, these women are in a fetal position on the floor while he's beating them, telling them to look into the camera and say, "Tell me you love me. Tell the camera you love me." Like whatever they're accusing the Tate brothers of, I believe it. I believe it. I don't have to be convinced. I saw what this man is capable of. I'm not convinced that he changed at all. By the way, he encourages other men and the youth of our nation to be an alpha male, and that this is what it takes to be an alpha male. This is what he's trying to educate the youth to do. By the way, he's a Muslim. Are you shocked? No. Are they Muslims? Yes. He converted to being a Muslim, probably because it suits and justifies his sadistic nature. This is why I think that the Muslim faith is wholly based in absolute sin. It actually allows people to indulge in their very disgusting, vile sins. I think Islam is actually pure evil. Whatever they're accusing the Tate brothers of, I don't think they're innocent at all. What I want you to pay attention to is why Candace Owens and her husband are friends with these people. So, I didn't want to have to play that video, but there's way too many conservatives out here defending the Tate brothers. Do not defend them. You will look awful in the end. There's way too much footage of the Tate brothers being absolute vile pieces of shit. Do not defend them. Should never have to listen to stuff like that in real life. It's disgusting. It's gut-wrenching. This makes me sick. It does make you sick. It makes me sick to my stomach having to hear that stuff. It makes me sick to my stomach to listen to people defend that too and say they think that they're innocent. Whatever they're being accused of, rape, prostitution, whatever, human trafficking, I believe it. Just from those videos alone, I believe it. All right, this is from the RNC research. Former Vice Chair DNC David Hogg applauses the rise of socialist takeover in Democrat Party. Do we want a party that is old, rich, and out of touch, or do we want a party led by young people like Millet and Zoran?
Do we want a party that is old, rich, and out of touch? Or do we want a party led by young people like Melot and Zoran? Do we want a party that's led by cowards or a party that's led by truly courageous leaders who, when they are voting, ask themselves, well, which special interest is this going to piss off? Because I really don't want AIPAC to spend $1 million against me in my primary, or for Lockheed Martin to not give me my $5,000 corporate PAC check, but instead ask themselves, what is the right fucking thing to do? Do we want...
Are we going to forget about CARE? Are we going to forget that CARE is backing these people? Because they don't seem to point out that Islam PACs are backing these people. Because that's not concerning, right? Also, by the way, Zoran Mandani is a trust fund baby. Stop trying to tell me that Zoran Mandani is part of the working class. He never had a job. What's the age of Zoran, by the way? Just curious.
I think he's mid-30s. I think he's like 34, something like that.
34 years old, never had a job. Tell me who's part of the working class that lived all the way up to 35 and never had a job. Nobody. In my young 20s, I had to work 3 jobs just to get by, okay? Like, most of the working class had to work all of their life. So we're being lectured by David Hogg, who is another spoiled brat elitist, who's been coddled by the DNC. How many jobs has David Hogg worked? It's just silly. You have trust fund babies that are advocating to stop the rich. You are the rich. Like, you are the rich. Like, what do we mean? What are we talking about? How are these people this dumb? By the way, this is who you should pay attention to. This pack right here. CARE's vision is to be a leading advocate for justice and mutual understanding. CARE's mission is to enhance understanding of Islam, protect civil rights, promote justice, and empower American Muslims. So all of these people will talk about AIPAC, but they won't talk about the Council on American Islamic Relations. I just also want to remind you that Thomas Massey was getting support from this PAC, by the way. They're getting financial support and encouragement from people within this PAC. But they won't mention this at all, that Zoran was supported by this PAC that advocates for more Muslim rights and more American Islamic relations. So we'll just leave that out, right? Because that wasn't important to mention. Oh, I hope all of these people get exposed for what they really are. I really do. Does anybody else have anything that you want to add before we wrap it up for the day? Because that's what's terrifying about this situation.
I'm good. Said it all.
17 minutes ago, I'm not running for the U.S. Senate. Nancy Mason announced she will not enter the race for South Carolina's open Senate seat, saying the fight I am already in matters right now. I actually can't believe that Darlene Graham is going to get Lindsey Graham's seat. I think that completely goes against meritocracy. That's just me. All right, guys. I think that wraps it up for the day. Thank you for joining me on YouTube. Appreciate everybody who came over from TikTok to show me support. Just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Thank you, Harley, Tracy, and Scott, and Laura for the donations on Cash App. And thank you for everybody who donated super chats today and participated in the TikTok live gifts from earlier this morning. Hopefully we can do more of these TikTok streams, or not TikTok streams, YouTube streams in the future. I know that Unrealness and I were talking about resurrecting the Red Rover Republic podcast, so we might do that in the future. But I look forward to doing this, and I will be doing a little bit of the TikTok interviews. So just getting on TikTok and kind of like talking to random people to see where their headspace is at politically. So I'm going to try to do my best. So what we might do is start off on TikTok at the beginning of the week. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, do like an hour and a half on TikTok and then move over to YouTube. And hopefully after a long period of time, we can move people over to YouTube. So I hope everybody has a great day. God bless. Make sure you follow up with Mideast and Scotty, and I believe Penny Lane as well. Probably is live. Let's see who's on TikTok right now. See who we can send people over to.
I'm literally going to open up in like 10 minutes. I'm in the car. As soon as I get home, I'm opening up.
Do you see it somewhere
Perfect.
that I don't?
I don't know why this keeps streaming. Penny is live right now. So Penny is live with Marie Mom. And that's, as far as I can see, that's who's live right now. So go ahead.
And I tried those interviews.
Probably gonna head to that live.
That was actually fun.
The interviews are fun.
I'll see you
I
guys.
plan to do them in the future. So we'll see about that. But like I said, TikTok keeps kind of fucking me over. So it's going to get frustrating for me if I can not report the news on TikTok. So, all right, guys, take care. Thanks for joining me. Everyone have a great afternoon, and I will see you
Have a good
on
one.
Wednesday. Bye, guys. Later.